Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can sleep with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2019, our first show of the year, and we planned it that we were going to be a little late. It's not that we like to do these things to our fans, but there was important business going on somewhere in America. But anyway, we're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Jenny and Joe D are already in the old chat room. I'm sitting here alongside Al Perkins. Doug Wilkie is on the way, along with Marnie Ryer. It's going to be a battle to see who's going to be the tardy one. Which one's going to get here first? Which one's going to get here later?
It's a horse race.
It really is. And I don't like to talk bad about people like that, calling them horses and all. Kat Carlson apparently learned, according to the message she sent us, she learned how to use a calendar over the Christmas holiday and found out that she had a party tonight. So she is doing that, but said she might stop by a little bit later just to see how we were doing.
Very kind of her.
Oh, just nice to fit us into her schedule, I'm pretty sure. My gosh, you were outside on a conference call?
Yeah.
What kind of business are you doing?
It was a work thing that it was one more meeting as we get ready we're 7 days away from the move.
Oh gosh,
But
wow.
the first of the 4 ICUs moved to the new hospital today.
Uh-huh.
So we
Perfectly smooth, everything went wonderfully.
27 floors of fun.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Yeah,
My
I mean, they
God.
made it through. I guess there was
so
some.
you weren't there?
No, I wasn't there. Couple technical, something technical they said, but they got it all done in the end, and
Gotcha.
hopefully we've learned from the first one going. We go next Tuesday.
And the unfortunate thing is you really don't get practice runs with patients. It's live.
Yeah, live and in person. But luckily, like the med surge floors and the telemetry floors have all already gone. So there's some precedent been set. So we'll figure it out as it goes, and then some of the stress, once you're on the other side of it, then it's just now you have a concrete problem to fix.
Right.
We're not just talking in theory of what could go right or what could go wrong.
It's happening.
We'll all find out
Sure.
next week if we now hate our jobs.
Now, and you've got a little rasp going on there. What's up?
I caught a cold and am hopefully on the other side of it after taking every cold medication known to man and or God. It was rough.
Yeah.
But, you know, the crud goes around at work. And,
Well, yeah, you're just in the. Yeah, you're all in it right there.
And unfortunately, I made a poor life choice on Saturday.
Really?
I just didn't sleep well, and it really was the nail in the coffin. Like if I had gotten a good day's sleep, I probably could have powered through it. But I ended up tossing and turning and coming to work that Saturday just kind of worn down and.
Your body wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, and you know the whole place can't call off sick with the sniffles. You know, you got to kind of get through it.
Yeah.
But Sunday I had to go. I had to leave.
We're done.
Yeah, I made it. I did my due diligence, and I just sent my boss a text about sending myself home. You know what I mean? Because I was in the supervisor-ish role. Mm-hmm. So I sent myself home sick. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. You know, how do you handle that? Who do you tell? Like,
Well, they also always tell you, especially in your line of work, if you're sick, just don't show up. Like you
Right.
can't. Like they'll figure out something else to do with it. I'm not sure what that is, but somebody will figure something out.
right? Yeah. So I just did what I could. I kind of laid low and tried to. I definitely stayed out of patients' rooms. I didn't go near anybody that might. I don't want to get anybody sicker.
No.
And hopefully didn't, you know, tried to stay clear of everybody and just do like tiny little tasks, like watch the Golden Globes.
No, which was yesterday. And I didn't forget about them. I assumed you were doing them and having your whole moment over there, but I just was like, I got other stuff to do right now. But
No, I was at work.
Oh,
So, yeah. So
Oh,
I
you were
went
there
that
that
Sunday.
long.
That was the night. So I watched that. A little, you know, I watched little bits and pieces.
Sure.
And I mean, thank Jesus, it was a slow night. Knock wood.
Okay.
That had been a busy night. I
You
would have
would've
gone home
been
way.
sick.
No, I would have gone home way earlier.
Oh, gotcha. Well, the last time I saw you, hello, Mom. Mom Dies in the chat room as
And
well.
Jenny and Joe, hello.
The last time I saw you, we were dancing the night away. The first night or first few hours of 2019 together on the dance
yes,
floor.
it was so much fun.
Little Donna Summer was given to us by Quentin, and we. That was an unexpected, wonderful way to end that night.
That really was. It was quite the treat, and it was a fun New Year's. I had not gone. Well, I guess I have gone out on New Year's more
And
than I
where
think
did you
I do.
come from? Like I didn't expect to see you at all. All of a sudden, I turn around and boom, there you are.
The little local place right here, kind of at the end of your street-ish, Rotten Grapes,
Oh yes,
has a
yes.
second location now down on Roosevelt.
Oh, okay. Pause for a text message reading.
Yeah, that was just the return of my supervisor.
Got it.
Telling saying we need a plan in place for when you have to send your cell phone sick.
Sure.
Because it's an odd thing to do, to be like, peacing out, people.
Who's gonna sign off on this
But
one?
actually, everybody was pushing me out the door like, yeah, take the sneezing and go fucking home.
So you were
So,
hi, Marn.
Hi.
Welcome to 2019.
Well, hello.
God.
Holla.
Holla.
So yeah, Rotten Grapes had a lovely. I guess they decided for their second location that their first big event was going to be New Year's. It was a tall order,
way to
but
kick it off.
They did a prefixed menu, which was very nice, and then they have an upstairs, I guess you'd call it, kind of a lofty kind of thing, a loft-ish thing.
Okay.
Where
This
they
is
had
at
a
the second
DJ and
location.
dancing at the
Got it.
second location. So there's a speakeasy in the basement that was cute but not appropriate for that evening as far as what we all wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
We all wanted to be kind of loud and have fun.
Like you do on New Year's.
And I think we ended up being a party of 12 with Doug and his friend Denise, or our friend Denise. And it was just delightful. We had a great time. We thought the drinking would get out of hand, but we really all did manage to stay okay till about 12:15, 12:30. So I was quite proud of us for an evening that started at 7:45.
Oh, yeah, that is a good pacing. That
People
really-
still having their shit together at 12:15. I can't say the wheels didn't completely fall off the bus for the rest
At
of the
some
night,
point,
but yeah.
sure.
And I can't remember what my I got bit by a dog.
The
And like
hair
something
or-
happened to me on the way home.
Oh.
No,
I mean, literally.
ran into a friend walking their new dog who has some it's a rescue, some issues with people. We did all the smart things about
Were you on your bike?
I was walking home from Stacy's because now I decided I guess I only walk home from Stacy's. And this time I didn't fall. Oh, because the Christmas party, I don't think we've had a show
Yeah,
since
no.
then. Yeah, so the Christmas party, walking home as the person that was not as drunk as everyone else and helped get the drunker people into Stacy's and then get them the fuck out of Stacy's because they were trashed.
Sorry.
So walking home, me and my friend Patrick and my niece Marissa, doily along, and I find the curbs in Arizona to be so funny, those sloped
Right.
asshole curbs, that sometimes when there's like, I'm walking with somebody else, I let them have the sidewalk, and I kind of like do this little hobble thing. Well, it had been several hours of marathon drinking, and I don't know what I was doing, but I did some kind of maneuver that turned into a stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, God.
I
Skinned
see.
my knee, thought I broke my finger.
Oh.
But got up and hosted waffles and
Oh,
various
of course
snacks
you
at my house.
did. Well
Always a
played.
charming hostess.
Of course you
Of course
are.
that was.
That is very true.
I wasn't going to let
Yes.
my niece and a friend go
No.
without snacks that I had promised. And then this time I ran into a friend walking the new dog, and we were very smart about, like, you know, hold up the hand, sniff the hand, get to know the dog. Very,
now,
like,
was this at Stacy's or with the dog? Kidding.
Yeah.
I can see how
you
you
know,
go. I
I
can
was
understand.
confused
Could go
a little
either
bit,
way.
So
Yeah,
sure,
could go
sure,
either
sure.
way.
All right, I just wanted to double check.
and then went back to he lives very close, so we went to his house to have a glass of champagne to toast in the new year, because I thought, why not have one more drink?
Of course.
And the dog sat on my lap for the entire time I was there. Like, I was like,
Oh.
well, this worked out. Like,
Sure.
clearly whatever problem the dog had with the other person,
Right.
it doesn't have with me. Well, it turns out it's standing up.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
the minute I stood up, the
Yep.
dog jumped from my lap and bit my leg.
Oh.
Oh.
And it had been sitting on my lap, so I don't know if it was like,
Was it too sudden? Was it?
yeah,
just
I mean, it
a-
really was an abrupt, like,
right.
well, let's do something else.
Right.
And then clunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you?
I've
okay?
never been bit by a dog before.
Yeah. You okay?
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
the jeans are fine
You
too.
hobbling?
No, but broke the skin. I
Good.
mean, it was
Oh.
it was a.
Did you have to report?
Do you have to what? Who would I report that to?
Rep-
You're
why?
supposed to.
So for who? Why?
Oh.
For and I'm not saying you need to, but like you're supposed to. To
Oh.
the county.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, because if
Hear
there are
ye,
any-
hear ye.
I know, right?
well, I guess I just did.
No, but it's something that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that way, because it's more if you have no idea about the dog and the records and the whatever for rabies stuff.
Oh, right,
But
because
also-
it's a rescue. Yeah.
Right. And just in case this is a pattern, then they have to take a look at that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
Well, all right,
I
well.
was just curious if, because with the skin breaking, we took our cat to PetSmart, and she's a little feisty, and even sedated, and she turned and got a hold of the nurse, the whatever that was there, and they had to report her, and honest to God, they came in. That fucking Marge is as big as this table. Marge the cat, that is, because of
yeah.
Anyway, and we had to quarantine her. I'm like, where the fuck do you think she's gonna go?
Yeah.
She can hardly hobble out of mom's room at this point. But we had to keep her quarantined. They had to come and make sure and do all
Oh.
different. I was like, what the hell? But it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean-
it's a thing.
I mean, and I thought about, like, oh, God, should I go and get antibiotics? I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
If I start to die, I'll tell somebody.
And now you've caught a cold.
Yeah. But I know who the cold... and you know what I mean? Everybody...
Oh.
Like, everybody was like, oh, this is the end of it. This is the end of it. And it really... Sleep. Like, that is, like, take all the vitamin C you can and
Right.
just sleep.
Yeah. Aaron's got the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's nothing.
And then there's
Oh, for
always
God's sakes,
that worry...
Aaron's with all those kids. Oh my God.
But this
Oh,
was
yeah.
like the after, and it's not as bad now that she's in high school, that compared to when she was in middle school.
Oh, the middle... Those are just petri dishes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The smaller
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
And you really have... The flu this year is nasty. Nasty,
You know what?
nasty. And they just...
For the 7 years we've done this show, you say that every year, and I'm not saying
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that you're faking it. I'm just like, I don't know if every year it just gets worse because every year it's
Yeah, and
bad,
it's-
bad.
Yeah.
We just and we're already seeing really bad cases. So I mean,
Read a lot of things. I did not.
so check for fevers. Make sure you know the difference between a cold and the flu.
Right.
And
What?
check
so-
for fevers, body aches. Worry about that. If it's you know what I mean. So just if you get this cold that's going around, just check. If you don't have a fever,
There's
you don't
a-
have the body aches, you don't have the flu, but they start off very similar. So check your temperature. check your
Security
temperature,
guy
check your
at
temperature.
Stacy's got and from what I understand from what their doctor said, he got it from his girlfriend. An edema, is it an edema effect? Something it's worse than the flu, but it's like the flu, but it's They actually said 10 times worse.
Oh.
It starts with an A. I've got to figure out. I'll find out what it's called, but you'll probably know more about it. But I had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was just really bad flu. I didn't know what the deal was.
I thought that looked interesting, so I thought we should try.
Oh, skinny.
I mean, why
It's
not?
optimistic.
I mean, right, exactly.
Right.
I was like, oh, and it's on sale. All the
I
things.
do not agree with chocolate and peppermint in
And
the
then
same
funny is
mouthful.
I have-
I
a little
usually
popcorn
don't.
too?
Yeah, I usually don't either. But I was like, it's
Was it
festive.
on sale?
It sure was. It sure
Jesus,
was.
How many
Well-
more bags you gonna
Yeah,
pull
wow.
out of
Holy shit.
there? God damn it,
Then there were
Marty.
these little things.
are
She's like the
those?
Mary Poppins of
There are these
snacks.
little
Cheesy.
things.
What are those?
They're little the little shortbread cookie things.
Motherfucker, I'm eating all these.
Okay.
Mother
And-
humper.
And because I missed,
God damn.
Well, no, hand that to him, please. If you want it, because I missed it being able to toast you,
With
and
the
I didn't
nog.
think you liked the nog.
A lot of
you-
whiskey
it-
and a little nog, and I'll get there.
Hand that back. Okay, good. We don't have that unless you want some.
No,
we
I-
have whiskey.
I drink it straight.
But I just drink it straight up.
I'm
yeah.
good with it. Yeah.
I tried bringing brandy to your mom's one time and like putting that in there because I'm like, this is I think the thing. Ugh.
Oh,
I just
didn't
want
work.
this.
No, I'm good. with it.
But if
Thank
you want some whiskey in this,
I might go get a little whiskey.
yeah.
Well,
just for
I'm
your
assuming
cold.
there's whiskey somewhere in this
you
house.
know, well, sure. I
Well.
think there's some of whatever Cat
Yeah.
had in the cabinet, and then my crown's in the fridge.
But I didn't think I was under the impression that he was not an eggnog person. Or
Well, I think if you add enough liquor to anything,
Yeah,
we'll all
that's
pretty much
fair-
consume
fair
it. I don't
point.
think it matters. I mean, Christ.
So I have that as a little holiday,
Yeah.
and then
Little
I got you-
throwback. It's kind of a
Yes,
throwback.
It's a throwback.
Because you missed like most of
Most of
2018.
it- Yeah, I did. I did. It's so true. Sorry about that, guys. Here and there.
Somehow that
and-
worked. I don't know. Yes.
But I did that, and then I got you another present.
What is that?
It's
Oh
a-
no, no.
it's a
You
key
got
to my
you
car.
got you a present.
Well, but it saves you such time.
Look, you know where that's gonna go? I'm gonna put it on a key. I'm gonna put it on a keychain with your name on it, and it's gonna go in my lockbox.
Okay.
What she just presented me with here in the studio, for those of you not watching, I really can't see it. She got an additional key for her car made to keep here because one night she locked her keys in her car, and we spent about an hour trying to break into that car and just
we
could not do it.
did, we
But
did.
So how'd you solve it?
her mom came and brought the spare keys from the house.
Called her and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's
Is
enough.
there an issue? I mean, for real. He seriously
Well, he just wants
put
to-
a
It's
little,
just an excuse to drink a little whiskey.
I
But
feel
see, if you
like
shake, look at that.
Look at
Yeah.
the
Like a
judgment.
fucking
What
milkshake
judgment
now.
she's got now?
no. I was just confused. I thought finish the job taking
Yeah.
that thing off of there.
Yeah.
And then B, that's it.
But
Plenty.
lovely that you brought the key. Oh, look at you. Mama's back. Hello.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
good stuff.
But no, good idea for the key. Actually, would you just hand me the key now?
Of course.
Because I'm afraid.
Then I'm
She's
gonna
gonna
lose
find
it?
a way to lock it in
Well,
her car.
well, she'll put it back in the bag and forget.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
No, so
yeah.
I'm gonna keep it
It's a
over
good
here.
point.
Yeah, keep it right
Anyway,
there. Yeah.
cheers to 2019.
Oh
with
my
you
gosh!
boys.
Oh, yes.
I haven't opened my nog. My
Welcome to 2019.
good
Cheers.
Lord. Well, may the
Cheers.
odds ever be in your favor, ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen.
something
How do
like
you-
this.
God darn.
I don't know if you guys had already started when I
part?
pulled up, but I was listening
No.
just to Pelosi and
Chucky.
Schumer. And did you hear any? He came on and he said,
Was he just laughing already?
no, they were both very serious, but I may have woken up neighbors if they're already asleep.
Oh.
Because I burst out laughing when Schumer said, oh, damn it, and then I forget it. Something about we do not govern through tantrums or by
Oh.
govern with tantruming or something like that.
board
Oh
with
my
that.
God. I just burst out. Tantrum in chief. I don't know what it was, but it fucking made me
Well, I
laugh.
have it recorded. I will
Yeah.
watch when.
Cheers, Jenny.
I will watch.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy yours. Happy everybody. I'll watch it later. I did watch the dumpster fire speak because I was
I
like,
did
I want to
not.
know because I figure over the course of the next few hours of the show, there'll be Facebook posts or something I wanted a reference.
Yep.
So we'll get it, and then I'll go back and watch. And then, of course, the analysis tomorrow will be priceless.
They were just shaking their head. Like when Chris Cuomo was like this.
Well, what I told Al when I walked in when I watched it, I didn't realize so many people, according to him, all over America.
bigly, yeah.
Well, they had been they'd been prosecuted for apparently one guy he beheaded, murdered, and killed somebody.
God.
All the same
Is
guy.
that like murder, fuck, kill?
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is,
or
but
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I thought
But
you
different.
I mean, I get beheading somebody in a way
Yes.
to kill them.
Very busy.
But I just like, well, yeah, really, you just
Oof.
you get hit with everything. I guess.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I remember hearing about it. Not really.
It may have been part of the Bowling Green massacre.
I think that's when it
Could have
was.
been. I'm not really sure.
So
I don't know.
not in 2018, but in 2017.
Could have been.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Could have. And it may have been the same time that the which actually the Bowling Green massacre was when the Corvettes all sunk into the sinkhole.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's that. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are just joining us,
Great.
oh, the door's locked. Would you go let
I
Doug
did.
in?
I sure will.
Cat Car. Hang on, Doug.
By the way, Jenny, money was on Doug, I think.
Kat Carlson learned how to use a calendar over the Christmas break, and she figured out she had a post-holiday party for the bar that she works in happening tonight. So Doug was kind enough to fill in for her. So Doug is arriving right now. Kat said she might stop by a little later, depending on how the evening goes. So rounding out our table tonight will be the guest villainous himself, Mr. Doug Wilkie. There's Doug right there. Hi, Doug. Got a bottle of wine, and he's ready to go. God, Lord.
Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if I need a glass.
No, just no, there's probably a corkscrew right here somewhere.
And a
Glasses from
jug.
champagne anymore, so.
Oh, no, I've got those. We got glasses
No,
for
I
sure.
mean, you just use the bottle.
Oh, fuck yeah. Who cares? It makes no difference.
Just
We can get you a brown paper sack to put that in.
Oh, by the way, Mom, I don't know if you had seen it. I believe it's the 18th of January is Grace and Frankie's premiere back on Netflix.
Oh, I know. There's a lot going on. Schitt's Creek started.
Oh, yes.
Grace and Frankie
The
started.
holiday episode
I
of Schitt's
finally
Creek was
got-
very cute.
Finally got Aaron into Schitt's Creek.
Yeah?
Finally.
What was your key? How did you do
Well,
it?
you know what had to happen. Apparently, we're not important.
Oh, well, no.
No. But we had two friends that came in town. And they said something about they're trying to get pregnant, and their friend David is
David!
David!
is
Fold it in! Fold
David is the
The father? The donor?
The
What-
donor.
Sure,
Thank you.
Sure,
Thank
okay.
you. And anyway, so it was cracking me up because we're at it doesn't matter. And Jesus, Peter Jungle. This getting to 50. Jesus Christ.
We're so close.
Oh,
we
but
are so close.
far away.
Yes. Yes, Mom has seen that.
And so it was hysterical because they say that they're using David as and I just because you can't not.
Right.
And I David. And it was they both looked over and they're like, oh my God, you watch Schitt's Creek, and we all went, and of course Erin was sitting there like this, huh?
Yeah, she has a
And I
good
went,
one.
oh, you don't know.
David!
God, it was fantastic. So now we're at
If you
that.
say
We're in
fold
the-
the cheese one
One
more
more
time.
time.
We're in the third season, so we're
Oh, very
very,
nice.
very quickly.
Yeah,
getting
but it
caught
doesn't
up.
take long to blast
No.
through those. But
And I can't. I'm rewatching them, and I'm crying watching them.
now, okay,
It's
but
so
but
funny.
now- but you hadn't seen any of them, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Right, you had not seen any of them. So you went to the
No.
beginning and
I
you got
had
through the
seen
whole.
them.
Oh,
She
you
had
had.
not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
God, I couldn't
yeah.
recall.
No, I was on board. The third season I had not seen yet.
Oh, okay.
So the first two I had, and just it doesn't matter going back, and I'm thinking, well, I mean, I've already seen this, so I mean, it'll be chuckleable, but not like the belt
Yeah.
out laughing. Fuck it, I was
Still the same.
Still the same.
Fucking
That
O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara. Well, and
Creek already?
Her,
yes, but that
Because I wanted to talk about that.
Oh, no,
I
we're-
am the most addicted
It's-
person to that
it
show
is
now.
such a great cast, Jenny,
Yeah.
and
The best.
they are the facial expressions
That's
alone
what,
is
for all of them.
all.
Because
Yeah.
you think it's about what's his name?
talking
No,
to a
the
microphone.
microphone
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to that. Dan Levy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
You know, he's the one you think has the most facial, but when they're all doing it. The sister's classic.
Oh,
Where they're like,
she really
Yeah.
is.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really.
I don't know about all
And
this.
she's,
A deal. God damn it! It was
Yeah.
very cute.
It's
I
too
have
much.
watched probably, I think, 8 episodes of that in the last 2 days.
Oh.
I'm like making my way through. It just gets better and better.
It does.
I love that. Thank you for turning me on to that show.
And
I love
that
it.
in the Christmas episode. Did you actually watch
have
the
not
Christmas
seen
though?
that. No.
It was very cute.
Okay.
It
How they
was
put it all together
really well
with,
done.
with
Oh, good.
you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think is it Stevie's line? So is the ghost of Christmas past coming to visit you tonight?
I think it may have been a throwaway line, but one of my favorite parts is because she goes to the store, and I'm not going to ruin this for her. She goes to the store and she buys the case of wine. I think she buys 2 cases, and all of a sudden in the middle of it, she goes, "We're out of red."
Yeah.
You know, we're out of red wine. She just keeps going.
Well, that's why she's crying.
Right, because she's not emotional at
Yeah,
all.
not emotional.
But the wine made her
out
emotional.
of red
Well, and
wine.
I wonder,
Can
it's
you
like
hear
the
me?
Oh
12.
my God! Yeah. Where's your headphones? Right there in front of you.
It's like the 12 days of Christmas,
I
except
do
for
the
one
same
day, and
thing.
I drink 12 bottles of wine.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much of it is not. I mean, because it's obviously scripted.
No.
But I wonder how much of it is.
They're improvised.
He
They're
believes-
improvisers.
has to be.
They-
He believes that everything that has to do with
Catherine O'Hara,
David's
yeah,
facial
yeah, yeah,
expressions
yeah.
is because he can't hold a
Right,
line
I
straight.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And those contortions are like him
Yeah.
trying to not laugh
Well,
during
because
something.
you can see sometimes with Catherine
I think that's
O'Hara
happening with him
especially.
and because it's so subtle with him and Stevie. Because she's looking
Oh,
at him
sure,
and she makes
sure.
a face, and you can tell he's like trying to make the
And how
face
brilliant
back.
is she? And
Oh,
where is
really
she
good.
from?
Yeah, most Canada.
Yeah,
Some
Canada.
Canadian. Right, no, but I mean, I don't know who she
Yeah.
is, but other than she's
I'm like, she
probably
has
some
got to have
Canadian.
been in something.
And now that
before.
I've watched so many of them now, they're doing what I've always loved them for is there's a lot of subtlety under things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
really respect their audience. Like some of it's even like sight gags and
Sure,
like
sure.
just subtle thing, like the whole thing that that David and Moira are always in black and white,
Uh-huh.
always.
Oh, yeah.
But and Johnny only wears one suit, but the daughter has a dazzling array of
Oh,
clothes. Like,
absolutely.
it's just so
and
funny.
headgear and the
Yeah.
whole thing, right?
And,
then
the
where
rings,
do they, and where do they keep
The-
all these
the
clothes?
rings
I
that
know.
move
the
all,
wings,
all
all the
over his
wigs.
hands,
And the
and
wigs.
the rings that he has.
Oh, yeah.
They move
Yeah.
all over his. If you
Yeah.
watch that closely, and
Yeah.
you'll see it's just crazy.
Well, I had so Aaron starts watching it, right? And I had,
From one.
From one.
From one,
yep.
okay.
And I got up. She was sick and has been going through the battling the flu, maybe the cold, maybe we don't know. And so New Year's Eve, that's what we did.
Okay.
We celebrated New York. We're that age because
10 o'clock.
I wanna go to bed.
You're
No, I
out
mean-
by 10.
no, it wasn't that we were about, but she just because she's like I can't.
Right.
So
That's my mother.
it was hysterical, and I'm sitting there like, there you go, and there we are.
Yeah.
But anyway, I needed the next day to get her something. I went to get medicine or to get something, and I had on a pair of like black leggings. But then I was like, well, I'm not going out. I mean, I have these on and whatever, but these were like pajama kind of leggings.
Right.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going out in
Were there
those.
feet in them?
Far be it.
The
No, but
feeties?
I totally think that would be great.
Oh,
And but
love
I
those.
took a pair. Hi, Annette.
Hello, Annette.
I took a pair of like they're 3/4 length, not capri really, but they're Adidas pants, like kind of a semi-track pant, and they're black, and I put those on, and I had a white shirt on over it, kind of long, and Aaron said, "Are you channeling David?"
He's like,
Oh,
And I
I remember now.
I cracked up because I'm like, oh my god, I really do look like I'm channeling him. It was terrible.
So back to the that reminds
Yeah.
me of the subtle joke. So you know that little outfit with the flaps.
Oh my god,
Right there.
Oh.
Right.
I know where you're going.
Okay, the Amish. Okay, so remember the episode where he ran away and
disappeared.
he
Yes,
disappears?
yes,
It was the
yes.
Amish people,
Yes.
and I love that they didn't make. I love that they don't make people stupid on that show. They
Yep.
make even the Amish people were smart. They're like, we've learned a lot of things in the last things we're going to remember for years. And so they go through all that, that's a very funny. And then, but the thing, it's so dead. That's what I love is the deadpan
Yes,
subtlety.
yes.
That right as the episode ends, he's sitting there, and remember Johnny's like, oh, it's common, it's customary to have lunch and Amish lunch. And they're like, not really, it's not. And they pan over to David, and he's sitting in the grass, and the Amish girl
Yes.
just deadpan goes, there's a bug on your dress.
Yes, fantastic.
Bug on your dress. I thought I was gonna die.
Oh,
and I.
oh no, when
Well, you're in a leather sweater, and it's the height of summer. So how's it going?
There's one scene where Moira and David are standing in front of the hotel, and she says something, and he looks at her, and he goes, "What in the hell are you wearing?" She's like, "Well, what's wrong?" He goes, "Look at you." She goes, "It's your outfit." Something like that. Exactly. But the wigs are what I love. God
I
damn
know
it.
it.
The wigs are just
And
hysterical.
there's a promo that they've got. I saw it on YouTube. I'm sure it's on on Facebook somewhere. They did clips for each one of the characters, and the one for Moira, they just go through all the different wigs.
Yeah.
PTA meeting, Crime Stopper, Concerned Citizen. They go through all these different hairstyles she's got. It's just priceless.
Oh, but she is just too fun. Oh, you need me to be there. I mean, like, just how everything about her.
I've been here all day. Well, I didn't see you at first.
Just how was she really? Because she's really kind of the worst person on this show.
Oh, she's a
And Alexis, you will always be one of my top priorities. I'm having trouble. I can't log in, Clayton. What's happening?
It
I
changed.
totally
It may have
get
changed.
that. I
Go to
totally
that
get
one.
that.
Look for that Wi-Fi. No, though. Wait.
I can't get Q Talk chat.
Are you online?
Oh.
You want to start with that? Let's check your Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi. Check your Wi-Fi. Because there was a network change in you. No, but you were here, weren't you?
I think I've been here since it was Lawn Boy.
Well, let's see. We'll figure that out.
So www.q
Talk chat. Are you doing for the chat? What are you trying to get to, Doug?
Yeah.
Q
There
Talk.
it is.
Oh
There we go.
my
Okay.
God!
It was a lot. Oh, very good. Very good.
Watch your cookies, Doug.
I
For
like
crying
it.
out loud, there's safety issues everywhere. I don't know.
And the other thing, you know how her accent, nobody really knows what it is,
Moira's?
And I could be wrong about this, but Al or anybody, you can. I actually think, I really believe they do subtle things. I think it isn't consistent. Like I think sometimes she says talk or something one way, and then she'll say it another way because it really the whole
because
point is that she's just
an actress who's
exactly.
When they go into that car
I think
The
dealership.
car dealership is
God
cracks me up.
damn it. When she was going on, and she's all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd that leprechaun come from? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Too much.
Yeah, I say that all the time with her. Like, she just keeps switching because she was an actress.
Right. Right.
She's brilliant.
And
Yeah.
she,
And thank God,
Oh.
like all these years later, somebody found another use for her.
oh my God, for real. And that whole entire and Chris Elliott is
Yeah.
he's
Who I
too
normally
much.
can't stand.
I can't.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the same.
That's
I'm
the
like,
only character
God.
I can't figure out on that show. The way
Who?
they write him, Chris Elliott, Mayor shit, whatever.
I can't stand him.
Yeah, I don't like him
I-
either.
Rolling
And
shit.
rolling
It's a
shit,
rolling
rolling,
shit.
rolling shit. Yeah.
Rolling shit.
But here's
Took me
the
to
thing.
the fourth season to get that.
I can't
God,
get the.
it's hysterical.
Maybe you guys can figure this out. Not because I've seen more than half of all the seasons, but like sometimes he's he's really nice to Johnny or Moira, and then like the next day he's not. He's like deliberately mean and passive aggressive, and I don't know. Like at least with the wife. What's his?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
She's like just consistently a decent person who gets frustrated by that family, but is like her wheelhouse is I'm a decent person. I can't figure that Chris Elliott. I don't know if we're supposed to or because sometimes he'll be nice and then sometimes he's such an asshole,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But my favorite, I have to say, I am in love with that Dan Levy guy.
Oh,
He is
I agree.
Gorgeous and
Yeah.
funny.
I
and,
just look at him and go, I just want to be his friend.
Oh my
Like,
god!
I just
Have you ever seen him? Like, I guess I googled him quick style. IMDb'd him to find out. Like, he hosted all these shows, like MTV shows in Canada's version of all those things. Have you ever seen him off
Nope.
thing?
Oh,
Is he
no.
straight or gay?
No, gay as hell.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know
he's
what the story was.
Christmas,
So
No,
okay.
Because the second
If
I
it was
saw
just
him,
really good acting,
you,
or
you googled him kind of briefly.
right.
I took a deep
Oh,
dive.
good.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you for doing the work for the
Absolutely.
R&D,
'Cause
Clayton.
If I could find that, you might never see me again.
I didn't try hard enough because I was just watching him the whole entire
Yeah,
time.
I actually almost want to learn how to cook and fold in cheese.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I saw when you brought that up. I hadn't seen it yet. When we were, I think on New Year, whatever night we were talking about that. So it was extra special because I didn't know what was coming. And he's like, we have to fold cheese.
Fold the cheese.
Oh,
Fold
God.
the
Is
cheese,
not your
David.
mother's recipe?
Yes, and now I'm passing it on to you.
Just
Try to keep up.
try to keep up.
Right.
David.
Was she saying in the beginning, "Ant enchiladas"? I thought that's what she was saying.
That episode, I don't know. I laughed so hard at that episode.
I think she was saying.
I'm just so
ant
glad you all finally
enchiladas.
caught up with me because I have been on this since day
Oh,
one of the
I
show.
have too. I
That is
watched
the
it
best-
since it came out.
I have
on
not-
Pop,
I
the
have-
Pop TV stuff.
I haven't been binge.
Quarter cup at a time.
Wait.
A thin stream. It's supposed to be a thin stream. Blend it really well. Or you'll burn. David, that's not right.
Okay, well, that's because I'm ladling and stirring at the same time, and you're just standing there.
Now's not the time to lose focus, darling.
Oh God. Yes, but I love it. And the fact that he writes.
I know. That
Dan
he's that
writes
young
stuff
and writes
intentionally
it.
to fuck with his dad.
Oh, you know it.
No, he
You
does.
know- oh, yeah.
He
Oh, he said he does?
There was
Oh.
an interview he did.
I
on-
gotta catch up.
No, at the first episode when they wind up in the hotel and the ceiling drips. Because apparently Eugene
Oh,
Levy's
God,
in real
yes.
life, Eugene Levy's thing is don't fuck with my hair ever. Don't touch my hair.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
he-
interesting.
So Dan Levy intentionally wrote the scene where Eugene Levy's lying in bed and the deep's dripping on him and he's just wet everywhere. He's just wet, and he intentionally did it to fuck with his dad.
That's a family
funny.
that just
That's
fucks with each
funny.
other.
Yeah, that's great.
What
Not now's the time to lose focus.
So I know for a fact that because I can't find it. So when you have the procedure done.
Oh, where's this
No,
going?
where it
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all in that
where
certain
you have to have a
age.
bag.
Colostomy.
Right? Colostomy. Is there another one? Is there another surgery that you'd have to have a different bag?
You could have a urostomy too, and have the like your ureter pulled through your
Okay.
skin, so you don't.
Because what was it that I'm trying to find it, and it's pissing me off that Eugene Levy, because that's where I almost busted a jugular.
What?
When Eugene Levy was talking to Daniel Levy about interviewing, and he's like, come in and practice. And David came in and sat down, and he goes, and what's with those pants? He's like,
No.
they're colostomy pants or
Oh,
something.
no.
I mean, I almost pissed my
Oh, my
pants.
God.
I'll
It
have
was
to go
one
back
of
and
the
watch.
funniest fucking things I've ever seen. It's when he got the job as a bag boy.
Oh yeah.
And he came in and he's like, so let's practice. And he comes in and,
I'm gonna have
and
to
he
go back
keeps
and
try-
rewatch.
He keeps trying, like he comes in and he said, now, he pretends he's the one interviewing.
Right.
And giving the interview. And he says, so, David, I see you're applying for bag boy. And he's like, now, why do you want that job? And he's like, I don't. And he's like, okay, you're not going to get the job. We won't be calling you.
goal, Dad. That's the goal.
And then he leaves. Fine.
Oh, my
And they have him come back in. And so now Eugene Levy's pissed. And it's like, well, and what's with the colostomy pants or something like that? God damn, I just thought that was fantastic.
Oh, it is. He wrote an episode of the Goldbergs too, which I didn't realize this
David?
year. Yeah,
No.
David.
it's
The
the only
one-
other writing credit. Yeah, is he wrote one episode of
The one I
Goldbergs.
watched last night, Al, was when Moira was going to be Patty Hearst for the asbestos fundraiser.
Yes.
Oh no! And so it's a thing that Jocelyn's doing to raise money to get rid of asbestos because they want the town to be asbestos free.
yeah.
And Moira's so fucked up. They're having some argument because Moira won't pick a song. She just can't decide because there's three, and but Jocelyn wants her to pick one, and she's like, "Well, I'm just trying to make it better so that you can have free asbestos." And Jocelyn's
her
like,
one woman.
we're trying to get rid of the asbestos,
God.
Moira. We are not trying to get it for free.
But that scene, where she's in front of the mirror.
Stick 'em up. This is a hold up. Nobody move. But me. But me. Who goes there? It's Jocelyn.
She's got a gun.
Good news, Moira. Don't ask me why, but Gwen had a hunting rifle in her basement. And I'm hoping this is good for your act.
It was a machine gun? So I need a machine gun for the machine gun ballet?
Okay, Moira,
That
you gotta meet
voice.
me halfway here. This is a real gun.
That's playing too fast or something. They're not that squeaky.
It's higher.
Oh.
When she was hiding in the closet crying her ass off, and then she has to get out of, and Alexa has to get her out of that
And then
closet,
they-
and then she's like, my foot is asleep.
They don't want to play the games at the baby shower. They don't want to play the poop games. So they have Jocelyn sit there with her mouth open while they try to throw mints in her mouth.
That's terrible.
And Myra goes, why does this look so familiar? I guess, well, you taught us this game. We used to do it with sedatives.
Oh my god!
Oh, too too good. Just too good. I need someone to go watch your mother. Baba, no, I was in the Caribbean, or I had her birthday and this. I mean, it was hysterical. Too much.
Funny.
If
Funny
you're not
stuff.
watching it for real,
Yeah.
you don't need to now because we just told you a lot of it. But
Some of that
fantastic.
stuff, though. Some of the stuff that they do.
Yeah, it's too much.
All right, so what have you been up
Amazing.
to in the year since we've seen you?
Well, wait, who's that? Wait, who are we starting?
I don't know. Who wants to start? Who wants to
go
start?
ahead.
Somebody start.
You go ahead.
Well,
it's a new year.
It's just the normal. It's we got through. I'm just always happy when we get past all of the holiday
too.
New Year bullshit. Everything goes back to being open and closed normal hours. We don't have to deal with any of these squirrely ass schedules, and
That's
it just all goes back.
exactly
Which
right.
basically just started yesterday because that first week of the year
Yeah.
is never.
Yeah,
never
no
all
one's
right.
showing up.
That's true.
Right. So yeah, so everything's finally back to normal, which is very nice. We can all resume our regularly scheduled programs, and then and so many programs are coming out of retirement, coming out of hiatus over the holidays.
That's
New ones
right.
are coming back.
Exciting.
And I
I have
am
to tell you something.
I'm
about the
still
show.
very close. I every second I think I'm ready to cut the cord on the cable. I just like another indictment or another something else. I just
Right.
I just don't know how
You
I'm
can't
going to
do
be
it.
able to live.
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
with
You
just
aren't.
watching it
How
on.
No,
can
you
I
have to have cable
live
forever.
Without Rachel
Oh my
Maddow.
gosh, it's just insane. Oh, that's what I learned. Here's what I didn't realize. So last night during the toss or the crossover between Rachel
Uh-huh.
and Lawrence O'Donnell, he says to her, "Hey, I'm only six years behind you," and she's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like,
Oh, I saw
6
that.
years.
Yeah.
He was on The Simpsons.
He was
and
on The
I
Simpsons,
never
yeah.
knew she was on The Simpsons 6 years ago.
Yep.
Oh.
She
And they draw her
She
so
hardly
funny.
remembered it.
I have
You
a-
can get it. It
I
looks
know.
so funny. The
I
way
have-
the Simpsons
well,
draw
she's
everybody.
she's very Simpson-y the way that it is. So they have her like this is how they drew
Yeah.
her,
Right.
and she does a scene where she comes in with Kent Brockman, who's the news anchor, who's bitter because they were apparently a team at one point, and she got offered to go to national. He's bitter because she took off and got successful and he wasn't. But I had no idea, so I had to look that up, and then I found out that she also did and I actually think I had seen it, but at the time I didn't realize who she was. The one of those the more you know, whatever the
Oh,
you know.
Sure,
Oh,
PSAs.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
That
So I
segment she
found out
used to
about
do.
that, which I never knew about. So I downloaded that audio so we can do that.
When she rings the.
Guten Tag. Greetings, Earthlings. Let's crack a lackin'. It is great that we express
So-
ourselves differently. If we were all the same, life would
So
be
there she
boring.
is. So I was like, well, there's more to know about her that I didn't know. But the Simpsons thing was very cool. I'm like, she actually voiced it and loved that she was drawn it. Like was one of her life's dreams was to be in that.
Oh, that's
And then
fun.
you realize, again, I've been in Phoenix 25 years, and I think The Simpsons started 3 years before that. Jesus,
Yeah.
criminy, that show's been on forever.
It's
has.
going to be like the longest running show on
No.
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually
it's beating,
do.
it's beating Law
Like
and Order, I think,
scheduled,
right now.
scheduled show.
Oh, The Simpsons? No, it is the longest.
It
It
is,
passed
right?
Gunsmoke
Isn't
like
it like
a decade
25
ago.
years that Simpsons has been on?
Yes.
Forever.
Oh, easily.
No,
It's been more
they're
than
at-
25.
I think they're at 30
Yeah.
or 31 because Tracy Ullman show was like 88.
Yeah, because 89. I think it started in 89.
Yeah, I think
so
Gunsmoke
we're at
was
30
we had the
years.
record and they passed
Just
Gunsmoke.
crazy
No.
for that.
But I think that's a long time ago.
And I signed on. I think I may have mentioned it before we ended last year. I signed on because I had to. We're starting a trivia night on Mondays at the Stacy's before they do karaoke, and Stacy wanted me to host it, which is all well and good, but the contract with the company, yada yada yada. So I actually had to become an employee of
One
that,
of them.
that company out of California, so that I could host his night. That's part of their contract. That the quiz master, as they call the person, has to be one of their employees. So that starts in 2 weeks from yesterday.
Nice.
So a couple hour deal where they email me the questions each week and teams can be formed and blah blah blah. So I'm starting that on Monday evenings.
Very nice.
We have this. We've still got RuPaul's going to go on until Hell Freezes over. Oh, by the way, RuPaul also is in one or two of the upcoming episodes of Grace and Frankie this new season.
Nice.
And Lisa Kudrow. No, Lisa Kudrow was in the last season.
She's already been in, but maybe a
Another
recurring
person
character.
I love more than anything in the
Yeah,
world.
for real. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I actually think Rue actually is a realtor in the episode, because apparently Grace and Ricky have to break back into the house that they were in, and then they come back and RuPaul's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And apparently Jane Fonda stands up and
That's
goes,
funny.
"Oh no, Lily Tomlin's like, who the fuck are you?" Oh, the preview.
Yeah, did they
I
lose
just
the house, or what happened to the house? The
yeah.
last
Well, the
one?
kids sold it because they decided that they were too old and they moved them into the retirement community.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I need to. That's another one I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
Because just was so good, and
I
then I got.
I feel like I'll rewatch last season so I can be brought right back up, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, and that's one that got better.
Yeah.
Like they really hit their stride. Like the second and the third season, it really got terrific.
I think it was toward the end of the second that middle of the second. I
Yeah,
think that
well,
I.
that doesn't go to keep up, but they really hit their stride.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, I need to get back on track with that one.
My gosh. Well, Doug, welcome, and thank you for
Of course.
for jumping in with Kat learning what a
I
calendar
know.
does.
Well, it's funny because I already knew about it Saturday night because so it's interesting. I was with a friend of mine, Tracy, who lives in Landmark, and we have a mutual friend that we both found out that we knew but we didn't know, named Aaron Callanan. I'm recruiting listeners, by the way.
Thank
So we
God
met-
somebody is.
So
Was this when
Aaron-
you were on tour for the Hot Bods thing?
Yeah.
Is that what this was?
I'm loving this. What's happening?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm
You were
loving it.
tagged in pictures for a Hot
I
Bods
know.
reunion.
No, that's not what had happened.
Okay,
this
my
is two
bad.
straight women.
Okay, well.
So, but gay friendly. So, but Tracy knew her through her work, and I knew Erin because she was a guest speaker in my domestic violence class, and she's really cool. I love her, but I'd never done anything socially. And Tracy, who I'd befriended, said, "You know, we have a friend in common. You know, Erin Callanan." So Saturday, she texted me. She's like, "Erin's going to go to Rotten Grapes tonight. Just pop over, and we're going to drink." So we did. That's how that
There
works.
you have
seems
it.
how
And
that
so
works.
we were into that, and Erin was like, "I want to go to Cobalt. Like, I want to go somewhere after this." 'Cause we went out a little early, and I was like, I never go to Cobalt. And so it's so weird. She knew Kat. Erin's like, "Well, I know Kat,
Nice.
and I want." I'm like,
Very popular
"Very
young man."
popular."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I said, "Let's just do it. Let's go."
Such a good guy. Not you, Kat.
So, and it was karaoke, that's a different kind of karaoke because they make you get up on that stage. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
don't have to,
"Holy
yes,
cow."
but you're right.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
well, these bitches did get on
Premier
that stage. so.
karaoke bar.
So anyway, so it was just funny. So I think Kat was surprised, and she didn't know we all knew each other. So when we were talking as the night wore on, it was a lot of fun. Kat was great. And then Kat said, "Oh gosh," she's like, "I'm not going to be doing the show. It's weird." So she said, "I just figured out the calendar." She said, she had some Cobalt related thing that she had to do. And she was so funny because she was like, "Doug, can you work my shift on Tuesdays?"
I didn't realize she was filling in shifts.
She
That's
was.
hysterical.
And I said, "Well, this is what I said." So I made a joke. I said, "As long as it's not here at Cobalt." And then, but then I kind of was like, the like wanting to be careful because I was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe Clayton's got someone." So I didn't want to be like, "Yeah, tell Clayton I'm going." So I just said, "Just let Clayton know you can't go." She said, and he'll let me know if I'm coming or not.
Yeah, well, and then the funny thing is,
I didn't want to fuck the
when
whole thing up.
When I posted in the chat thing or in our little messenger thing that you were going to fill in, she then followed up.
Yeah.
Well, I'd already booked it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. So okay, I didn't see that yet. So when you texted me, was it yesterday? I already
think it was
knew.
yesterday.
That's why I was like, of course, because
Go. I'm
I
glad
was
somebody
already-
does. Cheese and
Yeah.
rice. I'm glad
Yeah,
this
and yesterday I wasn't sure I was coming, so I was going to be
No.
like, and you're going to have to cover my shift too, because
You sound sick.
Well,
I'm just getting over it.
Cold.
Yeah.
and I called her today because I'm like, I
Just in case.
I'm
yeah.
even if it's a 50-50 on this one.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully that'll be different.
did you hire an assistant or something?
No.
Oh, well,
No.
maybe something had happened where.
No, there is. It's a kind of a shift with what I need to be focusing on anymore, and what Sarah, who was, because Erin's doing some assistant stuff, and then Sarah was an assistant, but I needed her to be like a supervisor kind of role. Like
Over you?
building the team. No, well, in some ways, but
Let's be honest.
yeah, I mean, we're not fooling anyone. But, anyway, but that way, because she could hire. She has to be in a certain spot in order to be able to hire people. And
Oh, gotcha.
do these other things that
Takes up a lot of your
Yeah,
time.
and as an assistant, it's helpful. There were helpful things. But then she's wanting to learn all the other stuff. I mean, it makes sense. Of course you do.
Yeah.
But if you can't implement those other things, we're just taking up a lot of time learning these things. So, meh. Anyway, digress. But we just in the last 3 weeks have been able to kind of separate that. And so, yeah, I think it's a big change. It's a good change.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that really frees up some headaches for you.
I hope it frees up some of the crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
there you go.
because God knows I have a lot of the
Free
crazy. Free crazy. David, free the
Da-
crazy.
David.
Free the crazy, David. So, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
digress.
I'm all dialed in now.
You fine, sir?
I'm good. My semester started yesterday. We started early. What's up? And finally, one of my colleagues at ASU started us a week earlier this year. I was like,
okay.
I haven't been there long enough to know what that's all about.
Sure.
But that could throw a wrinkle in my plan to go to California, because now I looked, and remember we were like, pray it's that third week or what? The last week of April, or April 26th is the last day of class, and then I have to grade. So if that's there's the bone marrow transplant reunion at City of Hope.
Okay.
At right around the end of April, and I really, really want to go because it's going to be 15 years cancer free.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Ringing a bell for that.
Yes.
But-
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Shit,
Oh.
sorry. Fucked. I'm sorry. Sorry.
What's
I
going on?
was
What are we
like-
watching?
I know. I was like, what's happening?
Kat always told me turn your volume off when you get here. Okay, so
Take
anyway,
all kinds of direction from her now,
I
don't
know.
you?
I had some kind of epiphany or
Producer
something.
was saying to me, I should have my volume
What was that?
down.
What was that? I'm sorry. Oh, this just in. Kat just said
Exactly.
what?
I'm
Okay.
bummed because if it is that very last weekend, I don't think there's just no way I can grade everything. Like it would, I'd have to fly there in the morning, go to it, and fly right home, and then I'd be too tired to
Yeah.
grade anyway. So I don't know. So they haven't said the date yet. I'm hoping it's a week earlier or a week later. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, so school started. I'm excited for the new semester. It's a lot of work and a lot of classes, but I feeling pretty motivated, but my head's still spinning from all the preparation from 2 new classes.
And did you work hard last week and get your preparations done?
I got some of it done. I'm in okay shape, but I'll be okay after this weekend because I'm being better now about managing time. So I'm not panicked. The anxiety level has dropped, but there's still a little stress involved.
Yeah.
And I'm just not. When you've taught something before, you feel better. When it's the first time around, you're trying to pretend that it isn't the first time around. You don't want the students to know, and there's always 2 who figure it out.
This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
I may or may
And
not
it's like,
have
yeah,
made it
actually,
right.
it is the first time at the rodeo, and
Yeah.
and it's always Madison, and Madison knows.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
She's on me. Shit.
And her friend Amanda's going to piss you off,
Right,
too.
right.
But things are good, and I'm trying to spend time with my
Is
mom.
that my Aaron? Or is that a different Aaron?
Oh my God, is that Aaron Callanan? Sorry,
Well, I don't
used the
know.
last name.
Please
It
let
might
us know who
be.
you are.
This
I'm
might be the one I
assuming
recruited,
that
or
if
is it
that's
Aaron?
my Aaron, then it would be Ernie.
Is it Ernie?
Yeah. I'm assuming that isn't, and now
Self-identify, please.
I was just gonna say.
now I'm sad.
Like, that's so funny.
I mean,
because
hello, Aaron, and welcome.
I have never known Erin to use her name correctly.
I feel like you looked at
I
that as a
just
sign
got
of life. Like,
sad.
oh, it's alive.
I just wanted to say hello.
So I sent
We'll see.
I sent the girls
Oh my God, we
of
laughed
Cherry
our
Lane.
asses off. Oh my God, it was hysterical.
because I did it to Di,
No.
Ernie, and Madagascar.
Madagascar. Yeah, that was our Christmas card. And do you know what we did? We hung up the Di, Ernie, and Madagascar, the envelope. Because I
Hakuna
have
Matata.
yeah, right.
Okay,
Isn't that
I do
fantastic?
need to say something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Please.
It's my friend Erin who I
Oh, hello.
recruited.
Erin.
She just said to me, "Yes, I'm totally logging in. I've listened to 2 episodes already. So good."
Aaron fucking Callanan.
There you go.
Okay, we're
again-
ringing the bell for you, Aaron.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Aaron fucking Callanan. Welcome.
Aaron, now since you're new, understand there is a delay from what you hear, but
Yeah.
we see what you type instantly.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of a delay in this.
So there, yes. Well, and forgive me for sounding sad. that it's you, because I'm excited that it's you. It's so
And it was funny that we both thought the same thing. Well, she would never sign in as Aaron.
Yeah.
So Aaron, Marnie's soon-to-be wife is also an Aaron, but for us, she goes by Ernie. So when when Marnie saw your name, she thought it might have been her Aaron.
So is Aaron fucking Callahan? Is she just a listener or a viewer as well?
Oh yeah, can you see? That's a good question.
Can you see us?
Can you see us? Can you see me now?
David!
Fold it in, Aaron.
Hello.
Fold it in.
Look at him not.
Hello,
Aaron fucking Callahan.
You say fold it in one
I
more
like
time.
Aaron, I hope you can see us on the monitor.
Or whatever you're watching us on.
However
Or however you
Etch a sketch.
identify.
Etch a sketch, carbon paper, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, try to etch a sketch me. I'll give you a minute.
I also gave her Saturday night the warning about this is NC-17, and I gave her the test question. I said this is the barometer for if you can listen to
Because
the.
if you don't
a
like
test
the C word,
question.
Well, this is
if you can't hear the word cunt, then you cannot
thank
listen
you.
to this
That's
fucking
exactly.
show.
Well, I said it slightly different, but that's what I said. But no, you're right.
You said the
No, I
C
told her because you
word,
do have to warn people because you never know. And I
No,
said,
you
look,
don't. You're right.
you don't know what you're in. She's like, oh, a podcast like shit. And I said, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
This isn't
important.
Pod
Yeah.
Save America.
No, it's certainly not. And I was afraid she thought it might be. So I said, well, this is what you need to know. I said, we just drink and talk, and sometimes it gets serious at the end with thoughtful vulgarity. Sometimes it doesn't, blah, blah, blah. Everything's on the, And I said, but here's just how you need to know. I'm going to say something, and you need to know if you're okay with it. And she's like, what? I'm like, Sarah Palin's a cunt.
So's Jan Brewer.
And I'm like, some people are out at that moment, and some people are like, I'll be okay.
Did she flinch at all?
Not at all.
Nothing. Good.
I love the not flinching. That's
Aaron,
awesome.
very good. Oh, she's totally watching us.
Awesome.
And we have to give a shout out to the future because
Oh, well.
The future.
Rory Anderson
Hi,
texted
Rory.
me the other night.
Why do I know that name? Why?
'Cause he's friends of ours.
Oh, good.
He texted me the other night. He texted me Friday night about a show from a year ago, September. So it's like 15, 16 months ago. So at first I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But so I'm like, wow, I guess we have to worry, we have to remember things we said
Retroactively.
16 months.
Can't wait to listen in. I like it. I like it.
So, but it was nice to get a message from Rory, and he was listening to the show about.
It was what was it about?
About Sweeney Todd, about seeing the Sweeney Todd, the almost interactive Sweeney Todd.
Got it.
Well, and
Aaron, meet Al Clayton, Marnie,
No, below that, Aaron. Can't wait to
can't wait to listen in.
Oh,
Can't wait to listen
sorry, Al.
in. I like that.
I'm gonna
a
write
lot.
that down.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna use that in a promo.
That's
I bet you
good.
can't wait to listen.
I can't wait to listen.
That was staring me in the face. I didn't even see it.
Yeah,
Huh?
we have such good accents on this show.
Oh, we
Clayton
really
and
are
I.
famous for
I
them.
mean, you know, but Clayton and I are really shitty at them.
Oh yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, Clayton
I don't
McKee.
even try.
I am stellar at all of the
in what
accents.
way?
Oh yeah.
I only have my
British,
one.
except for you're supposed to be Australian.
Doesn't matter. I was good
It's
at
all
what
European.
I only have one. I only have one accent. You want to start a band?
It's so bad.
Hello, Cleveland.
Turn up to 11.
Oh my god. So Marina, what have you been up to? Madagascar, how you been?
Madagascar.
Well, Madagascar's been good. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I got these new glasses, and
I see them.
they're progressive things. Whatever is that transition?
Just getting progressively worse? Is that what you're talking
something? What do you call them? What you have? You
Progressive
look out and
blindness.
you look down, and
Oh,
the-
up is further, and they progressively then
Yeah.
migrate to the readers at the bottom.
Fuck me running. I just put them on today, and I am having
That's
some
life
trouble.
changing.
Don't try to run until you don't try to fuck or run until you got this down.
Yes,
At
we
all.
don't.
Also,
You might miss a lot
You're
of
gonna
things.
skin something.
for someone, and also be real careful around curbs.
That's me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dogs
Well,
and
that's-
curbs.
You're gonna
Killing me every holiday.
You're gonna skin something.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like I'm sitting here trying to read things, and I'm like, well, okay, it's better for your posture, but I can't. So it's kind of fucking with
You know how
It's an adjustment period.
So you know how WebMD, you never should look up anything ever on WebMD.
I said if you put 2 symptoms in, you'll like have cancer. That's what I'm going to tell you. Headache, whatever. You have cancer.
Plague, yeah. You're dying of something that was eradicated in 1685, but you got it.
I'm sure
you got it.
I'm sure you know about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you hate WebMD.
We tell people all the time, just don't
don't ever
Google.
Don't Google it.
Don't Google it. But they have to. It's like telling somebody don't think of an elephant.
Right.
So I Googled it.
Yeah.
I Googled like you just stupid shit. Like I might have had a flinch or a Charlie horse on my leg, and I did something else, and all of a sudden
Now it has to be amputated.
Now I'm like, well, why is my I'm convinced that my vision is getting worse by the minute.
Yeah.
Like it just feels
no.
like you wake because you wake up in the morning and you can't this eye is glazed over, and this eye maybe your depth perception's off for the first 15, 20 feet.
It's just called old.
Yeah, well, but then I've decided that.
Oh, God,
have you
that's
watched
so
me
much
play the game of
better.
do I need these or do I not?
No,
It just depends. Sometimes. Sometimes.
No, but I think so. Now I've decided.
Anant, who are you fucking kidding?
I think we don't want to be racist and not.
Anant.
No, I think that you just missed.
You've missed that.
You've missed those because we have definitely gone way off the
'cause
rails
I'm
there.
ready. I'm ready.
I got 2 in my pocket that I could probably offend everybody with.
Ready.
We got all of Asia and even the subcontinent, I think.
Also, that was in the first show.
It might also involve a squishy machine on the Simpsons.
Yeah, we lost China almost immediately.
I do not know what you're talking about.
We gave away
You
1
do not
billion
know.
listeners the first show.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Oh, fuck. It was like, who else can we?
It's like
Wait,
the McDonald's,
flip
the
coin.
McDonald's sign going in reverse.
We had 99 billion.
Well, 99 billion,
10. Yeah,
sir.
now we're down to-
99 billion listeners on the wall. 99 billion listeners.
Yeah, take one down and imitate their accent. And
1 billion
their
listeners
culture.
on the wall. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
no.
poor. Oh no. I just think it's better to avoid that.
Al, what
but
are you drinking?
so, God only
It's
knows.
been
it's
everything.
a weird concoction.
It
So
started
now
off
I
as
have
a whiskey
my-
with a splash of eggnog, and then I got bored with my coffee, so I
Yeah.
threw the coffee in there. So now it's coffee, whiskey, and eggnog.
That actually sounds kind of good.
It wasn't
Okay.
bad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm so troubled by the whole thing. Anyway,
but do
so
you-
now
so
I'm
wait-
back with these, and I feel better.
Okay.
So, but
These are just readers.
where's your other ones? Can I have that? Let
Yeah.
me see those. I
Oh,
want to see
they're
if
so light, but I love his.
They
They're
might
so
be a
light.
good prescription for me. I never know. I want to see because mine are.
So what am I? Oh, that's nice. And
Look-
then I look up,
Well, what do you
and then I
got?
look down. What are these doing?
Well, they say.
Well, no.
Big
Look
print
at
They
or
one,
say
small
don't
print?
look down.
look at
That-
one thing and then go up and down on the glasses.
Yeah.
Like focus
Don't
on
move your
one
head.
thing.
Move your eyes.
No. But no, I would say look at one thing.
Sorry.
Like that screen, and then look. Yeah,
The
do
screen got delightful.
that. Okay, look at that, and then then look down through the
It's
bottoms.
like 2020, 2015, 2020, 2015. Well, I
Camera one,
I
camera
missed it.
two.
Do you
Oh,
have
I
your
have-
glasses too?
I have 2020
I have.
vision.
I can't. But see,
But I got old and I can't see close up stuff.
these are light as a feather.
I know.
Oh,
I
it's
love them.
not
his
like your
are, his are
couches.
better. His are
Wesley
better.
light as a feather, yeah.
Yeah.
You're white people.
In a surprise turn of events,
How did you know?
my paleness should not be affected by any
That's
vision
right. That's right.
problems.
Yeah, I get clear.
You
about
should just
right
be in
there.
soft focus,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like Betty Davis in
I should just look like the
1938.
top of a Q-tip.
Your readers are a little different than what I
Can I
need.
look
at
Oh, absolutely. Let's just pass them around.
I
Come
like
on.
it.
Let's all get a
But
headache.
are those,
like it.
are those real glasses or cheaters?
You're right, Mama
Al?
Di. You
These
are
are
right.
real glasses.
Those are real glasses.
Those are fantastic.
So
Those
what
are
do
so
I do
light.
again?
I
I
love
look at
them.
God
small-
damn it! These
small
weigh
print?
nothing.
Oh, sorry.
I
But
mean,
these
it's
are-
just like with the whole reader
These
kind of
aren't
thing.
bifocals.
No,
wait,
no,
I get-
no.
Wait.
No.
Oh, so the
No, these
small
don't help
print
me.
is
I-
They're
Wow.
just
Yep.
prescription readers.
and then I look at something far away.
And it's like it's very, 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 very light for the far away.
Up, wait, up, and then
Yeah, but
down.
that's the problem. I was
Well, I
trying to
told-
read stuff, and I was like, getting
I
all
think I
dizzy.
got it.
Yeah. So what I've
By
learned.
George, I think he's got it.
He's got it.
I feel like with
I
the-
think these.
I feel like with those glasses on, you look like Tina from
got an
from Bob's
accent.
Burgers.
I don't know that that's a good thing.
I'm not.
Oh, I didn't say it was a good
Yeah.
thing.
Bitch.
But I'm at that. I'm actually at that comfort.
cunt.
The comfort level of I don't want to drive. I won't drive with sunglasses on
That's
anymore
what you
because
said.
I'm not. Though I know where I'm going, I get
Yeah.
all. I don't like not having things clear. Even though I know that's a Camelback Road or whatever
Right.
street I'm on, I know it, but I don't like it not being clear. It drives me crazy.
See, now I enjoy this because it is
But
clear.
some really
Oh,
good
they're
sunglasses
dirty right
do
now.
have the make
Yeah,
it
you
will
can
look
get them.
clear.
I'm gonna go to Warby Parker and get those.
Right.
Like the sunglasses.
Right.
That's what Erin has. She can't.
And I got my prescription like a year
I mean,
ago.
I'm just because I don't bring the glasses anywhere but here and around my house,
Mhm.
so I'm almost to the point where the waiters have to read the menus to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, you need
or I
it.
just have to order
No,
the
that's
soup.
I can't see anything in a
Yeah,
restaurant
order
anymore.
Oh my god.
I'll
That's
have
so
a-
you
I'll
guys
have
just-
a bowl
so
of
these
soup.
Two are
Just have a
the,
bowl of soup.
these two are that commercial where they bring out the like, I'm sorry, we can't see the lighting, whatever, and instead they bring out takes both the menus. Comes back with those big giant fucking menus and hands them to
Shitty,
them.
you are the best.
That's fantastic.
You are the best. What's your name, dear? Sylvia. Yeah, fuck
Fuck
off,
off,
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
What is that from?
Feud.
The feud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Feud.
yeah.
Fuck off, Sylvia. Well played, Jenny. Well played.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, once I got the LASIK done, that cured up everything. But then it was just the march to oldness because they can't fix your needing reading glasses.
Sure.
But that gets better or worse depending on how much sleep I got. Like if I've gotten no
Right.
sleep, then I can't do anything without the readers.
Right.
Can't find my way through my house.
Right, I'm with you.
But if I've had
Yeah.
enough sleep, then I'll go like 2 days without the glasses, and it's just
Right.
Yeah.
stupid.
No, and that's what when
But
I
at work,
leave
I
here,
have the glasses with me constantly because some of those medicine bottles, Jesus
for
H.
real.
Christ.
Yeah.
Can you make it in a smaller bottle?
Right. When I leave here, typically I'm driving home and I'm looking and I know it's Indian School Road. But I'm like,
But
just
you're
because
there-
for
just to
giggles,
make
I'm
sure.
like,
Oh, and then there's that
What?
time of
And
day,
it's-
the time of day when the sun is setting and
Yeah.
the lights all wrong, and I'm like, I don't know, this might be McDowell. Let's make a left here and see what happens.
well, apparently I'm going to turn right again.
I'm gonna
'cause I
go,
have to
but yeah, I'm gonna
further
go with the
south.
feeling.
Yeah, right.
I do that without any vision problems.
Yeah.
That I'm a like distracted driver kind
Sure.
of person. And one day, that's funny that you would bring that. 'Cause that actually happened to me. I was meant to go down Indian School Road, and I was going down Thomas.
Oh,
I
God.
had gone too far, but
Yeah.
I didn't know I
Sure.
had made the mistake.
Sure.
And I was like, you know, this has changed a lot. It's gotten a lot
Yeah.
shittier.
Yeah,
Like,
but anymore when you're, and I don't know how it is in other areas for where people are watching or whatnot, but I mean,
It's
when
all
you're
just-
driving, it keeps changing. Like
Right.
12th Street
right.
and the Indian School
it could,
now.
You could be different 6
there
months from now.
used to be a gas
Yeah,
station there.
Right. So you could get psyched
Not
out
any
into
longer.
believing that it's okay.
Oh, and now
Yeah.
it's just strip malls and Circle K's. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right,
So I'm
and
like, I don't know
everything
what
is
goddamn
different.
street I'm
or
on.
apartment complexes.
Or now, yeah,
Right,
now it's a
right,
giant
right.
apartment complex.
Except for I did notice, which who cares? Because there's one on every corner. But God bless it, there's that new Starbucks, newish on Highland and 7th Street.
Oh yeah, very
I'm
helpful.
not unpleased by that. I'm like,
What's it,
wow.
Seven?
It used to
Oh,
be where Urban.
Xavier?
No, yeah, it used to be where Urban Cookies was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they built
Yeah.
like 5 Starbucks
Yeah.
within like 5 feet of
I
each
know.
other.
Yeah.
7th
I'm
Street in
good with it.
Osborne, 7th
Doesn't
Avenue in
bother me.
Osborne.
You know those Xavier girls and Brophy boys will help be that just.
Well,
on
I think
it,
they were like,
right?
we need that Dutch Brothers money.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
We need to be.
Care to comment on the fact that Miss Crawford says you look old enough to be her mother?
What's your name, sweetheart?
Sylvia.
Fuck off, Sylvia.
There you go.
And I never saw that coming when the first time.
Great. No, that was great.
Me
I hope
neither.
Betty really did that. I hope that wasn't one of those fake Ryan Murphy things. Like,
Right. I think that was the first one that I commented on, and I tagged Susan Sarandon in a tweet, and
Oh,
she
that-
liked
yeah.
my tweet.
And I was
Oh,
here the
right.
day you were. That was the day you were fixing my computer. Had all that drama from my computer died or whatever. So we were like spent 3 or 4 hours together, which was wonderful.
It was taxing,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were getting
Our
caught up.
condolences.
No, but it was so fun because when you have that long of time with Clint, we covered a lot of ground, and you were so excited. No, seriously, I love this story because you were like, oh my God, you were like Doug, Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Was it called retweeted me or tweeted me or what?
Well, she liked your tweet
your
of mine,
thing,
right,
and I was like,
She likes my
What?
tweeter.
she liked your
She asked
tweeter.
me to tweet her.
And then the weird thing was, because
I don't even know her.
Yeah, you're gonna
Tweeter? I
skin
don't
something
even-
doing that. I'm just telling you.
and during that time, I had never paid that much attention to Susan Sarandon's voice before.
Right.
And I'm standing like a week or so later. I'm standing in an aisle at Walgreens, and all of a sudden I hear, Tylenol has laser drilled holes, so the medicine gets to you
I
quicker. And I'm
know,
like,
right?
Holy fuck! That's Susan Sarandon. Then I find out that she's done Tylenol commercials for years.
Yeah, right. That's
Oh,
right.
and now our boy, and Kat will know his name. The one that played John Lawrence in Hamilton is now doing Crown Royal commercials.
Oh, wow.
I know that little cutie that's in A Star Is Born and Will and Grace. I can't think of his name.
Stand by. We're going to look him up in a moment to find out.
He's the one that introduced the girls and the girls from Hamilton for the Kennedy Center honors.
For the tribute.
Oh, yeah.
His name is not coming to me.
What, Marty?
I don't know what I did with the phone.
With your phone?
Yeah.
Well, somebody will call it. I'll call it.
Well, no, you were watching it when you
just because this segment is never
I
going
have
to
a
end a
feeling
year
it
and a
is.
half later.
Al, how are you doing?
I'm not done.
Busy couple with too late. We're at
I don't care.
8:22. What you got?
I got tickets to Michelle Obama. I'm very excited
Oh,
about that.
Jesus, did you have to
told us that
mortgage
the
your
last time, remember?
house?
Isn't it changing hands?
The last time you were here, we had to Google the dates for you so you knew when to go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember if it was within that time.
Yes.
No.
Remember, she didn't know what day it was, so we had to Google the date and give her the time.
That's right. And I had to put it in my calendar so that I'd be on time. And you guys told me about 4
And show
hours
up on the right
early.
day.
It's on the 12th.
Luckily, I listen, especially when I'm
Thank
yelling
God.
at you.
No.
I heard that those were ridiculously priced
Yeah,
tickets.
but they weren't.
Yeah, remember,
They
we had this whole
weren't.
conversation. She didn't
No.
pay an arm and a leg.
I did not, but some people did.
I don't listen
But
to
you
the
buy the
show.
book, right?
Did what?
You have to buy the book, right?
I already have it.
Oh, okay. You can bring it then.
It's not a matter of like meeting her. It's not. It's just the tickets to listen. I'm
God,
sure
first
that-
it was Sally Field.
I know.
Now you're Michelle Obama.
I know.
No, I'm just so
Good
important.
God.
You are.
I
You
know.
are.
Hey.
No, I don't
Fuck
like
off,
chocolate and mint together.
Sylvia.
Hey.
Is it Anthony Ramos?
Yes.
White chocolate peppermint.
He's
I don't know.
adorable.
What the fuck is this?
He's
They
adorable.
were 50% off.
So I'll just cover all mine in entertainment, 'cause that's all I've really done is entertain myself for weeks.
Feel free to take a segment for yourself, Al, if you'd like to talk now.
No.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
He was also in when they cut to him and I guess his wife when Adam Lambert was singing.
Because he ended up being together with and Peggy. He ended up marrying the third Schuyler sister. Not marrying, but they've been a
Peggy.
couple.
Got it.
And Peggy.
Well, I hope we're. Oh, she's gonna walk away now. This is perfect. Oh, get your phone. We could have called it. All right, there you go. Well, let's. I think we can pull this off. It's gonna seem like old times. Let's try this. Let's see if we can get ourselves together for a headline segment.
Oh, yeah.
The teaser from the A block to the B block. It's what we're going to cover in headlines right here on Q Talk America, and I don't have mine open. 911 call goes bad.
Driverless vans are threatened and attacked in Arizona.
Huckabee is just as stupid as that other cunt, Megyn Kelly.
Dumb fucking
I'll help
ideas.
you with that.
Button licker.
Oh!
Oh.
The most profound shower thoughts on Reddit this week.
Hey, Jamie Lee.
Criminals are the most smartest. And boy, I'm happy with Christmas gift. That all went completely terribly wrong. We're going to get it put back together. We'll fix it up. We'll stick it together and show you coming up next.
David!
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the B Block, the hour 2 of the show with Clayton McKee. I am Clayton McKee, your humble host, along with Doug Wilkie, Marty Ryer. Al Perkins rounds us out. We do this once a week, and if you're tired of it now, we got a whole year coming at you. One of our newest listeners, something Parker Callahan,
Aaron fucking Callahan.
She thinks this is the funniest thing she's ever heard, and I'm like, well, you've only listened for 10 minutes. Get ready, baby.
Wait till Al screams.
Get ready. Yeah.
I don't have anything to scream about yet.
By the way, I didn't mean to glance over Al in the headline section. I thought he was scrambling to find headlines, so I just tried to keep it going, only to find out I overlooked him. But he'll make up for that in a couple segments later, because
we got a lot to talk about.
Al talks a lot. You'll learn about that here shortly. Let's talk about our headlines.
We missed 2 weeks of shows during award season, for the love of Jesus.
I don't know who planned that shit. What the fuck was going on there? Well,
Jesus.
I know that we've all heard, I'm assuming we've all seen this or heard about it already. The police are trying to track down a man who spent 3 hours licking a doorbell at a California home. What? I thought I'd seen it all, but this takes the cake. Neighbor Francisco Javier Estrada told KION News. Surveillance cameras caught Robert Daniel Arroyo in the act of licking a doorbell for 3 hours.
Oh.
The Dungans said that they were not home at the time, but their children were inside sleeping. Police said a newly installed surveillance system, which was a Ring doorbell, helped them figure out who was licking the doorbell because it was a camera on him. Quote, "We are pleasantly surprised the image was so clear. It didn't take us long to identify the individual," Salina Police Department spokesperson Miguel Cabrera said. The security cameras also caught Arroyo, that's European, moving an extension cord to the front yard and then relieving himself.
Oh, no.
You kind of laugh about it.
With the extension cord?
Well, it did not clarify.
Are they unrelated?
It did not clarify, and I don't want to, I don't want to put words in his mouth or anything else. I don't have the.
Those are good. These are better.
I'll do the picture. So you kind of laughed. You kind of laugh about it afterwards because technically he didn't harm anybody. He didn't break anything. Homeowner Sylvia.
Did the doorbell get
Dungan
out though? Because I mean, for 3 hours.
Police said Arroyo could face misdemeanor charges of petty theft and prowling. As for the Dungans, they said that they came home and made sure to clean the doorbell off really well.
Well,
he's got a happy girlfriend though. I'm just saying.
I will pull up the video of this
he
idiot.
licked that little man on the boat for 3 solid hours.
While you do your story, Doug, we'll come back to me in a second. I'll show you the video of this idiot.
So this needs a little preface is that normally I Google weird news stories.
Who doesn't, Doug?
And this is really sad because it's Arizona. Is that this is just a regular story
Mhm.
about
Well,
but that's Arizona for you.
Usually you find those in Florida.
So we are a test city for the driverless cars. Driverless vans that are now here from Waymo are being threatened and attacked in Arizona. More than 20 incidents involving automobile good lord, vehicles have been reported. So this is really stupid.
I'd heard
people of
about
Arizona.
this.
So they have taken people fed up with the vans have taken matters into their own hands, hurling rocks, slashing tires, and even forcing vans off the road in an apparent attempt to rid neighborhoods of the burgeoning technology. Authorities in the Phoenix area test market have reportedly fielded nearly 24 cases involving self-driving Waymo vans. Waymo, a self-driving technology company, is a spinoff of the Google self-driving car project and it's owned by Google. They're testing them out here. Arizona Republic reports that police in Chandler have documented at least 21 incidents involving the vehicles over the past 2 years. In one reported case, a man pointed a gun at a Waymo, and in another, a Jeep ran 6 Waymo vans off the road. Others have reportedly screamed at the vehicles or chased them. According to the New York Times, some analysts expect more of the behavior in the future as companies continue to test artificial intelligence technologies. There's a growing sense that the giant corporations owning driverless technologies do not have our best interests at heart. Just think about the humans inside these vehicles who are essentially training the artificial intelligence that will replace them. New transit technologies like driverless cars and electric scooters have drawn the ire of critics who say they're a danger to public health and safety. In an extreme case last year, a self-driving Uber car fatally hit a woman crossing the street in what's to be the first fatality involving.
But it was
one
the
of them.
it was
her fault.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that right?
No, it was the person in the car.
Right.
The human inside the car
Oh.
had taken that was supposed to be like doing the guidance system that you were just talking about. She was not paying attention.
Right.
Oh no,
And
I didn't know
and
that.
didn't use the safety technology. Yeah.
Okay.
It was human error.
Right. But they
So-
were blaming.
Yeah.
Basically, the owners were saying don't let individual criminals throwing rocks or slashing tires derail efforts to drive the future of transportation. So that to me sounds like a lot of really stupid people, but I mean, are people really mad about
people are
driverless
just that
cars
fucking
or
dumb.
just that fucking dumb?
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. It's just people being assholes.
I mean, that's just going to be happening,
Yeah.
right? Technology is happening.
Whatever is new, somebody's gonna be mad about and have some kind of stupid
Well,
protest.
running them off the road, I mean,
Right. What are you trying to prove?
Yeah,
right.
that you're a shitty driver.
Good on you.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose your driver's license and
Uh-huh.
now gonna need a driverless
and
car.
eventually people are going to be in those driverless cars. You're going to run them off the road and kill them. Like, that just didn't make any sense to me.
People
Then
are
they'll
dumb.
think we need a wall to protect us from them. It's crazy stuff happening.
And I was in Tempe and went to dinner and then to a movie. And as I was backing out, my friend was like, "You're about to hit a driverless car. You're about to be the problem." And I didn't realize that. And I don't know if it was some kind of delivery service, but it was a driverless car, and they were coming and putting the car in to deliver the food. Like the driverless car was there to pick up the meal.
Order. Yeah, the food order.
Pick up the order, and I almost hit it because I wasn't paying attention.
Wow.
Well, there's that.
And my friend was like, "It's gonna be you. Your fault."
You're
I'm
the
like,
problem.
Uh-huh.
Let's
Well,
not.
if I'm driving, it's always me that's the problem.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'll let that go.
We're gonna let that go.
This is the flashing back right to the story that I just told about the guy licking the doorbell. This is video of the guy. This was on Channel 7 out of San Francisco. This is the guy licking the doorbell. This is what he did for 3 hours.
Telling you, happy
For 3
girlfriend.
hours?
Apparently he was there.
We've all
He
smoked
needs
that.
a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't have a girlfriend at this point.
So
He's just
you can
practicing.
see that. Okay, so this idiot, right? He comes along there.
Oh, he high. Look, do you see that?
Oh, he's high. Oh yeah, totally.
High as fuck.
And there's a doorbell, then they've got the camera on the other side. So he was actually okay. See that? Then they'll show a shot, I think, of the.
And he's looking right at the camera too.
He's out of his fucking mind.
She knows. She knows.
Isn't that weird shit? Good lord.
Wow.
Wow.
Marnie, has your camera been licked lately?
How about your button?
Has your button gotten licked,
Your
Marty?
bell? Ding ding.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think it's nicer than when I used to ask her about lesbian bed death.
Oh my god.
Which I love that term.
You should call Aaron. and not you, Aaron, but Ernie.
Ernie Aaron.
So, well, that's not me for a little bit. Now I'm just going to go back to this.
Go.
So, Mike Huckabee. See, I didn't even dive on the Sarah Huckabee Sanders is
wow.
a cunt bandwagon, right?
She
this
is, though.
about totally. Yeah. This is about Mike Huckabee being a cunt.
Yeah.
Because he's a moron, and I can't handle it.
Apple tree.
Oh, not far at all. Just still hanging from one of the branches.
Actually, I can't prove that is not Huckabee as the spokesperson
drag?
in the long wig.
Really bad drag.
All of it. Yeah.
That's an interesting theory.
Because
Not a
she
pretty
looks like
cow.
70 miles of bad road.
Yeah.
Like that.
Trans lives matter, because God
She
damn
looks
it.
like hammered shit.
Hammered shit.
Well, and now we're not, and now we're not saying that folks that have transitioned look like hammered shit at all.
Not at all.
No, but
Just Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
No, just
that in
her.
particularly was a very bad procedure done.
She's an angry little inch.
Just a Frankenstein made entirely of dead dicks.
God damn.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Where did that come from?
Vice. Oh, Veep.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching Veep.
All right. Golly.
My
jeepers.
It's one of the things they call the cloud botherer.
Oh, the tall guy. Yeah.
Anyway,
Frankenstein's
David.
monster made entirely of dead dicks.
so Huckabee was on Fox and Friends, of course.
Oh, of course.
So,
it was.
What a
I was
shocker.
gonna have 'em, yeah.
Is that the story?
Everyone. Shocked face.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, you recall, because this is dating back a little bit. This would have been the day after Christmas, right? The story.
Oh, recent memory.
Recent
Okay.
enough, because I wanted it to just bring the season together from what we had missed.
Okay.
And you have Megyn Kelly, right? Who
Cunt.
Professional cunt. I mean, she's
She
out of the
is,
Olympics.
yeah.
And also
Her
fired.
She and Ann Coulter, like.
Ann Coulter's in a whole nother plane.
That's true, but they're both awful people.
They're awful.
I mean, I hope both planes
Yeah.
crash,
Yeah.
but they're on two different planes.
No.
Fiery crash.
But
Those are great.
we know that Megyn Kelly believes Santa just is white.
Yes.
He just is. You might find that one too if you could.
Oh, I
Glenn.
already have it.
Santa just is white.
He is white.
But Trump had been catching flack for. Did you guys hear about the
Santa
7-year-old?
just is white.
There you go.
Yes.
He just is. He just is white.
Praise. Now, did you hear about the flack that Trumpelstiltskin had been catching?
For which thing?
Well, that's a great question. For telling the 7-year-old girl that
yeah.
My favorite
believing
story
in
of the
Santa
year.
Claus is marginal.
Marginal.
At her age, during a Christmas Eve phone call that motherfucker made.
When his whole
while
job was just to be
blasting
there.
the media's coverage of the phone call, Huckabee said, I mean, it wasn't like Trump was boiling the girl's bunny rabbit on the stove or something.
I
'Cause
will
that's the
not be
next step?
ignored.
No.
Dan.
I won't be
Exactly what I
ignored,
thought.
Dan.
Dan, I will not be ignored. And I thought,
How's your
oh,
dinner?
Different movie, but still
Whatever.
fun.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Same co-star.
Yeah.
Strangely,
It doesn't
both
matter.
Michael Douglas.
Ah.
Cloud runs through it.
Huckabee went on to lament the media's coverage of Trump in general. Because they're also unfair.
I know, because he's such a nice person.
He is, and he's so misunderstood.
Killing the dreams of 7-year-olds.
Well, right,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Around the world.
Santa, the other
So
white meat.
Santa, believing in
Thank
Santa.
you, Jenny.
Atta girl. I like it. So,
Tastes like
you know,
chicken.
he says if he doesn't make the call, if he didn't talk to the little girl, they would say he was curled up in the fetal position in the White House and he was unwilling to come out and talk to anybody.
What? That doesn't even make any sense.
No.
You're a fucking moron.
You can
but
have a
allow
conversation
me.
with a
He could
7-year-old
have just done
being
what
a
he was
dick.
what he was asked to do, which is just be nice to
Merry
the children
Christmas.
for the little Christmas thing. That's all.
For
The
one
end.
fucking phone
This
call.
fucking bitch. I can't. Right.
Yeah, bitch.
That's not a big ask.
Yeah,
Wasn't his second phone call to Eric to tell
Because
him
he's
that
marginal all the time.
Because Santa.
How come SNL didn't do that?
Yeah. I think one of my kids still believes.
The girl's father, Donald Lloyd, also came to Trump's
That
defense.
was funny, Clayton.
Which, come on, I think it's crazy. It just became a big deal. It's Christmas time. I'd love to keep politics out of Christmas. As for his daughter, she reportedly still believes in Santa.
Well, good.
Well, they
Thank
were only
God.
going to call a Trump supporter. You know what I
Well,
mean? They're not calling my
right.
house for a Christmas message.
Yeah,
right?
I bet you'd give him a
So,
Christmas message.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's
That's
a
how you do
Christmas
marginal,
message.
sir. At best.
Believing in you. Believing in you still is marginal at best. But for real,
Yeah.
fucking Huckabee.
That is my favorite story for horrible reasons of
Horrible
last year.
reasons, yeah.
Because there's 9 million horrible stories about
Yeah.
Donald Trump, but killing the dreams
Dream
of a
of
7-year-old on Christmas on TV.
Right,
It's
right,
really worse than
right,
anything he's ever
right.
done. Like it's the worst thing he's ever done.
And the best part is they'll defend him. Those
Oh,
four fuckers.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The 3 Fox and Friends. And that
Tucker
contest.
Carlson is like, it's all right.
Huckabee without the wig. He could have slapped the girl in the face and kicked her in the cooter, and they'd
right.
be like, well, at least he talked to her.
Yeah, right? He called. Right. Because he wasn't, and I quote, curled up in the fetal position in the
Right.
White House and
Right.
unwilling to come out and talk to anybody. Because that's
He
what
showed
everybody
concern
was
about her
saying.
cooter when he kicked her in
Yeah,
it.
right now.
I liked how when he made the remark that he was all alone in the White House, and it's a big house.
Yeah. Right, which makes it, I
I
guess,
don't- like,
more
if that
lonely.
makes it-
or-
yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Well,
So
maybe
that
if he
made
finds a way to work
sense?
for you.
You
Go
know
look at
that.
the cabinet
Yeah.
for
You
somebody.
You know that, what is it, Fred Trump, his dad?
Oh,
That his
yeah.
dad was probably like,
Oh, don't go in his
Shut
closet.
up,
Just
son.
white robes and hoods. Yeah.
Right.
Don't
By the
go
way,
in
I'd
that
like
one.
for us all
Shut
to,
up, son.
we're all marked as safe from
good.
Trump's fake address to the
Oh,
nation.
Oh,
to try to
good.
Oh.
Thank
Hold on.
you.
We're
Thank you.
marked
No.
as straight.
thank you for putting
Thank
that on
you.
my page.
I was
because,
concerned.
I hope that you do, because I am.
And unless you forget it from the season.
Santa just is
Yes,
white.
There you
yes,
go.
yes. Thank you
Okay.
for that follow-up.
I just have to say one
Yes.
more thing about that. That makes it better. She's so serious and committed to that.
Oh.
It's not even like a funny. She's
No.
like very like, but he just is white.
If you
No, because
just watch that,
because the part that we're
Yeah.
missing, that's the cut, is
Yeah.
she just wants to reassure the
Yeah.
kids at
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
that Santa
Just
just
is
is white.
He just is white.
And
Yeah.
so is Jesus.
yeah.
Like,
well,
that's
of
the
course.
actual
Well,
full
that's
quote.
isn't fantastic.
Santa
this
just is
yeah.
white.
There's that. And I think
And
you
so
should.
is Jesus.
And for that network, you follow that one with this.
Yeah.
Same song.
It's back to the perfume palette for me.
Al Perkins, what's your story?
So there are really stupid fucking people in the world, as we'll just continue that trend. It looks
okay.
like the old year is ending with a new meme. Fans inspired by Bird Box, Sandra Bullock's Netflix horror hit, have started attempting something called the Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah.
of course.
Hashtag, and Netflix is like, stop this now.
Stop the madness.
The task requires participants to attempt to do things blindfolded, like Bullock's character in the film. There is a slight difference. In Bird Box, characters wear the blindfolds as protection against an unseen force that seemingly takes over people's vision by manifesting their greatest fears. In the hashtag Bird Box Challenge, people wear the blindfolds in hopes of going viral. One version of the meme shows a blindfolded family paddling for dear life in their bathtub. That's funny.
That's funny.
That's
That's
funny.
funny.
While another features a group of women trying to use an escalator with their eyes covers.
Oh God.
Oh my God, you gotta watch my sister use an escalator. That's hysterical. So then there's like stepping out the crib after watching Bird Box. There's people lifting weights. I don't even know what this one is. But they're just doing dumb shit. But I guess there's people trying to like drive cars and stuff like that. But anyways, whatever all of this is going on, Netflix is like, stop this now before it turns into Tide
People
Pods.
look like gonna
Yeah.
get killed.
Yeah.
Well,
And
for
I think
real,
there
I was
already
just
has
looking
been-
at that bag because I was going to put it on my head. It doesn't have a warning.
Right.
And
it didn't say not to.
It didn't say you shouldn't. But the same thing, we put up the thing in my windshield for the sun, the little sunshade thing.
Yeah.
And we put that fucking thing in the window, and Aaron and I both just stopped. Because down in the corner is a little note. Do not drive with this in the window.
And look at Anon's comment.
What in the hell?
Yes, Jake Jake
blindfolded.
Paul, whoever he is, did it on there.
That's absurd.
Well,
It's
and
just people just being
this
stupid.
NBC affiliate morning show, they all three tried it,
Oh, God.
whatever the hell they were doing.
I mean, they just got to sit there and read stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like,
They're just idiots.
Yeah.
They're the stupid people you were talking
but
about.
no, I mean that's kind of fun and do the news blindfolded,
But
whatever.
don't drive.
But don't drive or like
Please
walk into
don't.
traffic,
Right.
Or eat the fucking Tide Pods.
But if there isn't a note on there to say
there's-
don't,
okay, on this old radio
I
show
don't
out of Chicago that I used
Telling
to
you
love,
not
the
to.
Tom and Bob show. I think it was the Bob and Tom show.
Okay.
They had this guy that used to do this call-in show called the Mr. Obvious Show. And the best part about it was Mr. Obvious would sit in one chair and the caller would be in that chair and Bob and Tom were in that chair. And they would do the whole thing out like they
That's funny.
weren't looking
That's
at
so
each
funny.
other. And so the one time the caller is talking about, oh, what a good advice he got from Mr. Obvious the week before about the sun shield in his window to keep the car cooler. But like, and there's all these horns honking and stuff like that as he's talking. He's like, but I keep getting tickets.
I can't.
Oh my God! If you ever find, they're all
that's
over YouTube and stuff.
I'll
The
see if I
Mr.
can
Obvious
find
show.
it. I'll see
God
if I
damn,
can
that's
find
funny.
I
'Cause
have all of them. Whenever I go on road trips, whenever there's
Yeah.
somebody who's like, "Oh, I don't really like road trips," I have like a whole like hour and
List of
5
that-
minutes of
that's
just like little
awesome.
comedy clips from stuff just to get people like,
Yeah.
let's just get over the nervousness of road trips
Right,
Yeah.
right.
and the fear that I'm going to sing
Yeah,
for the whole
right.
6 hours.
Do you, which I love that because Al has everything in the world
Sure.
in technology, and we were coming home from Palm Springs,
Yeah.
which is like 4 hours exactly door to door, and we'd listen to a lot of music, and then all of a sudden it was just. And I love you for this. It was just Joan Rivers what makes a
Oh, I love
semi
it.
legend most,
Yeah.
like from 9 million years
Nice.
ago, and I'm like, I'm so happy
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Listening to the
just
Joan
to have
Rivers
the whole show there.
Sure.
comedy album.
That's fantastic.
Just put it on there. So I mean, just don't. If there's something
Well,
that fucking
and
stupid
look at what
like
Anand
eating
says.
soap,
He's also eating Tide Pods. I mean, so here's the deal. This guy's just a douchebag.
right?
Yeah.
But people watch it because you want to watch a car
It's
crash.
like Johnny Knoxville used to
Yeah.
be, right?
Oh
That
my
whole
God,
stapled
right?
his dick to
Jackass?
something. Or
Was that
Jackass.
Jackass?
Yeah, that
Now
one.
I just want to tell you, I never paid to see the Jackass movie. I would pay for another movie and then
snuck
sneak
into it,
into
didn't you?
Jackass. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Because sometimes they're really funny, and then the
Yeah,
Oprah
they can be funny.
So
Oprah
here's my deal.
What was it? Mad TV did
That's
Oprah
the
Winfrey
best.
on Jackass,
That's
and
the
it's the
best.
real Jackass
Oh my
with
God.
the fake Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You'll pee your pants.
Clayton.
I want to know this.
Nicole Kidman!
No, but this one is really Jackass.
I know.
If you want to feel alive, you got to get in a dirty garbage can and roll down,
Down
a
that hill.
I can't.
What's your
I'll watch
boyfriend's name?
Wipeout,
Stedman.
I call it lighting a lazy brother on fire.
That
I went home and Googled that.
But doesn't she
night.
also? She does one with Kenny Rogers too, doesn't
Yes.
she? It's the two of them do one of the things in the park. Don't they do it one together too, or no?
No, yeah, that's Jack. It's people
Right.
from Jackass and her.
Right, but don't they bring Kenny Rogers into one too?
Oh, I only know the one with Stedman.
Oh,
Guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show, stay near my parents' house, and they show this like outhouse.
See, now, watching things where it's a train wreck for people is like, for me, I would have to watch Wipeout. Like, Wipeout is fucking funny to
That
me.
is funny shit.
I had never seen it. Aaron put that on when we first started seeing each other. I was over there, and I don't know, she had some other horrible fucking reality something on, and I was like, I cannot.
That fucking Bachelor show
I
she
can't-
always watched.
Oh, Christ on the
Oh,
cross.
God,
I'm like, I cannot.
no.
I cannot turn this shit off. And this is super early on before I'm like, okay. And so,
Before lesbian bed death.
whatever. And so when she put on that Wipeout, I was crying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like,
It's
this
funny.
is just people,
The balls.
but they're just, it's an
Isn't that your
they're-
favorite
they're-
show?
Oh, I
That
love it.
Wipeout? Yeah.
Yeah, it disappeared now.
It did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I love
and
that.
I was like, this is not okay.
I
It has
just
to come
laughed
back.
my ass off that entire thing. Just
And the
stu-
commentators were like, oh, and
Yeah,
there's
and
a...
I didn't find out till years later
Well, John
that
Henson's
that
one
one
of them.
guy
Yeah.
is a serious. He's from
John,
Sports Center.
yeah.
They're both named John.
Right, but
one's
one's-
a comedian and one's really a
One
sports
was like
analyst.
Talk Soup.
John
Yeah.
Henson was Talk Soup
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah.
Right.
And then, but the other one is really
Real
from Sports Center.
serious.
Like he's
Oh, it's
actually an ESPN
fantastic.
commentator. And like,
Yeah, the game,
Oh
that
my God.
Wipeout the game
Yeah.
show thing, right? It was like a game show.
I
Like,
stumble
all the
across
time.
it occasionally on TV.
God
Forget
damn
about
it. Well, and people just forget it. Somebody falls down, I'm going to laugh.
Oh, it's funny. I know.
I don't care
Yeah.
where it is. I don't care if it's on Wipeout.
oh,
I
and
don't
anytime
care.
you fall, you want
No.
witnesses.
Oh,
Like, when
I've always said that.
I will
Yeah.
fall
I have
down.
fallen down by myself, and I'm like, God, no one saw that.
Well,
Yeah.
and when people stand up and they're like, I don't know, and they're like all upset, like, who pushed me? You're alone. You just fell.
You fell.
You
Yeah.
fall down. You'd go to boom.
I fell
And
at ASU
I-
on a staircase to the
I
library.
will sit there and fucking knee slap, and I am laughing my ass off. Not that it happens often. I'm just saying when it has. I think it's hysterical. I don't care if it's me. I don't care who it is.
You need witnesses.
You do. I agree. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't know what's
Sorry.
happening right now.
I don't either.
It always happens when we haven't been together in a
I
few
know.
weeks.
We have
I
all
know.
the same
We're
thing.
just kind of all off the
turn.
rails.
Well, police have arrested a 42-year-old Anchorage man suspected of stealing a front-end loader and using it as his getaway vehicle after a burglary.
Oh, no.
Police say Brian Petros was held Wednesday on suspicion of vehicle theft, burglary, theft, reckless driving, criminal mischief. Online court documents do not list his attorney. However, a person walking a dog Wednesday morning reported a broken door at a Westside hair salon. Officers determined someone drove a front-end loader to the salon, picked up a frozen planter, smashed the front door window, entered the business, and stole numerous items. While responding to another burglary, officers spotted the front-end loader and conducted a traffic stop. They arrested Petros and determined that he had stolen the heavy equipment Saturday from a secured lot on the city's east side. Cut to a picture of the loader he stole.
Oh my God.
If you're going to use a getaway vehicle,
Right. Get one with turbo.
I mean, nothing's going to get in your way.
No, I mean he's gonna make it through all of traffic slowly, but
Right, he's going to get through
he was chased on foot.
Yes, after a
Oh my God, no wonder you love this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's got a Tonka toy in it. I'm happy about that. Are you kidding?
Totally.
Yeah.
Total Tonka toy.
Oh, that's great.
Doug, your story, please.
Okay, so some of these are funnier than others, I'll be honest with you. So I'll try to
That's
skip through.
that's 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
We're used to that.
Okay. Because I do think the theme
Aaron,
is funny,
get used
though.
to it yourself.
The theme. Oh, is she still there?
She's on. Who knows?
No,
She may have given
I
up.
messaged her. I think she gave up.
Well, but
We're not so.
she might come back.
When you hit 30-minute mark for her, she's like, yeah, fuck this. It's not that funny after all.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll later. When
I'll
I'm
try it later
drunk.
when it gets better.
Yeah, I need
So
to be drunk
I
for this
think
shit.
Reddit's not that great, but the website, but they have something called Shower Thoughts on Reddit that cracks me up, and people post their epiphanies that they have while they're in the shower. And Reddit has an entire Shower Thoughts subreddit dedicated to this miniature epiphanies you have that highlight the oddities. Okay, when you cannot sleep because you can't stop thinking about something, it's like a single program not letting the computer shut down. Yeah, that's all right.
Fair.
This one's funnier. There are about 50 million kangaroos in the world, and there's only about 5 million Norwegians. So if the kangaroos decided to invade Norway, we'd have to fight about 10 each. That's
fair.
really out there, right? This one I like because this is, I know. Who
Aaron's
thinks of
still
that
with
shit?
us.
Oh,
Aaron still
good.
is.
Oh, good. Yay, you're still there. Yay.
That completes the circle.
Yay for our brand new listener, Aaron fucking
Showing
Callahan.
endurance.
I like it.
Yes.
And I like that she both threw it out there. She'll put her last name
I
on
like
there. She
it.
doesn't care.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. I like this one, though, because it's real. Theme parks can capture you perfectly moving at 60 miles an hour, but bank cameras can't perfectly capture someone standing still.
With a gun in their hand.
No
Right,
shit.
right. That's true.
People who voluntarily wipe a public toilet seat of a mess other than their own don't receive enough recognition.
And won't do it at their own house.
And won't do it at their own. That's where I thought it was going. I was like, why are we praising these people? It'd be so. I don't know about you. This is borderline. It would be so much cooler if the New Year's Eve ball dropped slowly over the course of the whole year.
Oh, that is good.
I like it.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Where's Waldo would be much scarier. God, sorry. If Waldo was the one searching for you.
Ah. Oh, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
Al, you'll
Fair
like this
point.
next one. The first half of your life is people telling you not to do drugs, and the second half is people telling you about all the drugs you need to take.
That's true.
Before social media, all this shit just stayed in people's heads.
Well, no, they used to fax it to each other. My mom has a whole folder of shit they used to fax back in the 80s.
You faxed it.
She's like, she says Facebook is just the new faxing.
I think she's
You share
absolutely
memes
right.
and shit. Yeah.
This is what's kind of weird. If we had blood flowing through our hair, haircuts would be terrifying.
Edward Scissorhands.
There's no reason to get mad at all the new people at the gym this month. They're the reason your gym membership isn't twice as much as the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Jurassic Park could have been a successful and highly lucrative theme park if they only cloned herbivore dinosaurs. And this last one's my favorite one of all. If tints were transparent, camping would be a lot scarier.
Oh, good call.
That's
true.
all I got.
That is true.
I thought that
Shower
was cute,
thoughts.
though. That could be a segment on the show, right?
Yeah.
Shower thoughts.
Because every
With
other
Al
segment
Perkins.
Shower
as well.
thoughts with Al Perkins.
Yours would be bath thoughts.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Right, not bath salts. That's
Bath
That's
salts.
different.
Bath
that's
salts
Florida.
with Al Perkins.
Yeah, that's Florida.
I don't know. I think I like the bath salts version.
I like the bath salts
Well,
one.
not like in Florida, because then they just
Yeah, just
they're
eat your
eating
face.
people's faces.
Turn
Oh my God.
alligators.
Yeah,
A
gross.
Mount Coffin is just dumpster for people. Oh my God.
That's right.
It's the truth.
So, a couple things. Jamie Lee Curtis
I love her.
looked remarkably
Yeah.
like her mother when
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
came out.
I've always thought she looks
No,
like
no,
her.
no. I always did as well.
Mhm.
But I'm saying when she
Oh, like
walked
more
out
so?
at the Golden Globes,
Yeah.
I was like I had to. I was going to take a picture of it and send it to you.
Yeah.
Like, do you see what I'm seeing? Like, what is happening? That was remarkable. She's gorgeous.
Oh,
and
she
I
is.
do love how they. I mean, Allison Janney and
Oh, wait, who do they pair her with? It was
the
just,
little guy who was George Bush and
oh, yeah, because they both Sam Rockwell.
yes, and then
Yeah.
I don't remember who.
She was with Ben Stiller, wasn't she?
You know,
Didn't they put Ben Stiller with Jamie Lee Curtis, and you find out how
Yes,
remarkably
that's right. Yes.
how remarkably short
Yes.
he is?
you know what my
but
mom said one
she
time
looked
that I never
just
thought about this, and this is why I love my mom. She just every now and then she just zones right in. I never made the connection. She was like, when you think about it, Janet Leigh was in the quintessential horror film of
sure.
her era,
Uh-huh.
and her daughter was in the
Yeah.
quintessential horror film
Yeah.
of her era. And I was like, I never put the two
well,
together.
and then when
Yeah.
when Janet Leigh not starred, but did her cameo
Yeah.
in Halloween.
in Halloween
H2O.
H2O, yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
big things.
and it
with
was the
that
little
together. It
connection
was
that,
awesome.
she gave birth, it's 18, 19 years later,
Yeah.
she had the Scream Queen
Isn't
daughter.
that crazy?
Yeah.
It's
Isn't
just a
that
weird
wild?
thing,
Yep.
right?
No, by the way, I didn't watch the Golden Globes. I figured I'd catch the highlights later. I
Yeah,
figured
it was iffy.
So I hadn't seen this picture of Jamie Lee Curtis until just now. But when I look at it, I realize if she was in a black V-neck, basically it's me. When my hair turns white.
Yeah.
That's really it. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, I like
You know,
it.
it really is.
Yeah, I
If
like
that was
it.
a black V-neck, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
her
you gotta
hair
see
is very
one
similar.
indoors where she could open her eyes because she really she looked lovely. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a
I think she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find an eye-open picture
Yeah,
of her.
she
Yeah.
is
Have you
absolutely gorgeous.
Are we talking
Oh, yeah.
about it in entertainment?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Argyle Glenn. We have to.
But come on,
I know,
Glenn Close.
but we want that to be Alice's segment.
So Jamie Lee Curtis is going to make a film about an Oklahoma woman who stands in for absent moms at gay weddings.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
saw the
Oh
headline.
my God, I saw that headline too.
Do
We-
tell us.
that was one of our headlines.
Yep.
It was one of our
List.
stories. But I haven't. This is cool.
So Jamie Lee Curtis has bought the rights to Sarah Cunningham's 2014 memoir,
Lovely.
How We Sleep at Night, which tells the
so
story of how
cool.
she came to terms with her son's sexuality. Cunningham became internet famous last summer after she announced on Facebook that she would stand in for moms who refused to attend their sons' or daughters' weddings because of their sexual orientation.
I'm gonna cry.
I know. I'm
That is
totally with
such
you.
a beautiful thing to do.
Fans had speculated that a film could be in the works when Curtis posted a tweet in September which showed a photo of herself with Cunningham. She said, I hope to do justice to her story and the story of so many marginalized people in the LGBTQ community. She forgot some letters.
But
The
you're
tweet
only allowed
that-
140 characters.
Right.
Now I
Right.
know
Yeah,
my
that's true, that's right.
ABCs
Yeah,
next
but, all right,
time.
won't you be gay with me?
Hey.
So the tweet it had read, I spent the day with my doppelganger, inspirational mama bear, leader, author, and social activist Sarah Cunningham, whose program at Free Mom, her Twitter handle, whatever, is at Free Mom Hugs, where she offers support to LGBTQ. Oh,
We
this
get
is
it.
why. No. This is why it's LBGTQ.
They put it out of order.
They put it out
Yeah.
of order. Don't fuck with me,
Don't-
David.
David.
Anyway, members.
Fold
who-
the letters in.
Here's,
Fold the letters in.
Fold
There's the picture
them.
of
There
the
it
two
is,
of them
yep.
together.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she really can play her.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
alike.
yeah, very much.
I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis can play Rachel
Maddow.
Maddow,
yeah.
yes.
Right, yeah.
We
A
know
little
who's
bit of
gonna.
shoe
We
polish
know
in
who's
that
gonna play
hair.
her in the biography.
Or Rachel could play Jamie Lee
And she
Curtis
also-
maybe at
so
some point.
great, Marnie.
And, I'm loving this.
This is
I know
great.
it. And as she says, as we say, stay tuned. #hero, #FreeMomHugs. The Washington Post has now revealed that Curtis spent 3 days with the Cunningham family in September and decided to make the film about their story. Curtis told the publication that she was moved by Cunningham's journey. And that was her quote, with being thrilled to be able to, the movement being catching on, that this movement is catching on and hoping to make a statement about it. Sarah Cunningham is the founder of U.S. nonprofit Free Mom Hugs, an organization that is all about moms who love LGBTQ plus kids. The charity, there's a Facebook page for it. The charity advocates and educates on behalf of children who have been rejected or discriminated against because of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
How could you not love us? We're so cute.
Just like right here. Oh, look.
We're the best. We keep you away from chiffon and backlighting.
However, this Cunningham became an internet celebrity last summer when she said in a Facebook post that she would stand in for the absent moms. PSA, if you need a mom to attend your same-sex wedding because your biological mom won't, call me. I'm there. I'll be your biggest fan. I'll even bring the bubbles, she said.
Yeah, she got busy,
Yeah.
got booked up.
Speaking to BuzzFeed News last summer, Cunningham said the post came from hearing from several same-sex couples how their parents refused to attend their wedding or even acknowledge their relationships. She added, people need hope. I sure do. And we need to be that for each other in any way, shape, or form. Hope never disappoints. She's an accidental activist. She has opened up about how she became an accidental activist after her son came out in 2011. her memoir looks at the struggle with her son's sexuality. Her son's name is Parker, and not only was I, she says, not only was I living in constant fear, Parker said this, not only was I living in constant fear as a gay kid in conservative Oklahoma,
Oh, good
which,
Lord.
you know, we were fighting a spiritual battle inside the walls of a non-affirming church. My mother and I were both struggling with what we thought was a literal life or death situation when it came to my soul and how I'd spend eternity. And for anyone who is a believer, of a certain faith, I don't know where they stand, but for sure. After learning of the high rates of suicide in the LGBT plus community in 2014, that's where she became the activist, which is, it's so sad, but it's brilliant that she paid attention.
What is it? Prayers for Bobby. What's the
Yes.
Sigourney? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the same
Yep.
thing where after the son committed suicide, the mother
Correct.
realized that
Joe, that's
her
horrible.
church was just a horrible
Yeah.
fucking place to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I love about this story is it's like a double dose because she did this great thing, but then there's also going to be a movie about it.
Right.
You know, and I love the
And it'll
accidental
carry on.
piece of it, right?
I
so
love
authentic
that
and
accidental
she's not even
activist.
really raising any money, like well, maybe to
Maybe
go
to,
fly
like, get
places,
places, sure,
but you
sure.
know what I mean. I like it because it's not like this big like we need money.
Well-
She's like, I'm just going to go do this kind thing.
It kind of
right?
because we did this story some weeks ago.
I'll give
about
her money to fly places.
As soon as she did that and started doing it, other people all over the country
Right.
started
Oh my
doing it as
God.
well.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
she,
even better,
So she
Clayton.
couldn't make it to a wedding or weddings the same day, whatever it was.
So there's other
people
moms.
started to.
Or
not-
dads.
Yes.
Dads.
Moms,
Just
dads,
full parents, moms,
people.
dads, whatever,
This is
showing
like
up.
This is restored my
Yeah.
faith in humanity
It goes,
right now.
It's that whole idea of one of Al's most hated movies of Pay It Forward.
Yeah. Well, the
The
movie's
idea-
horrible.
I mean,
The
the
idea of
of
paying
it,
forward
right,
is
the
fine.
idea.
That movie is the
Movie
worst. The kid
horrible.
dies at the end. I ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I don't
He
want
dies.
you to watch it.
Yeah,
He
don't
dies.
watch it.
Anyway,
Side note: I make myself
Yeah.
laugh all the time, and I don't know why.
yeah.
Every time I hear somebody on the news talk about abortion, I think about Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
And I think of your line,
Best-
it's the best movie about abortion ever.
Yeah.
No, best dance
Best
movie.
dance movie about-
Best
Yeah.
dance movie about
About
abortion
abortion.
ever.
That's true.
And it makes me laugh every single time.
Yep.
Back to you, Mark.
The last piece. Meanwhile, Jamie Lee Curtis has also proven herself to be an advocate for LGBT plus rights over the years. In 2012, she was featured alongside Martin Sheen and Brad Pitt in a performance of Dustin Lance Black's play 8, which I don't know that I'm familiar with, but it's a
And it was
staged
filmed.
reenactment of the trial that overturned California's same-sex marriage ban,
wow,
but I
right.
don't remember
Right.
them. Curtis also featured.
We actually talked about it the first year that we did the show.
Okay.
It was, and they videotaped it, and they're
I
all
was
playing
drunk
different
almost that
people.
entire
Yeah.
time, so
We
I don't
all
know. Yeah,
were.
It's
yeah.
okay, Marty.
So I'm like, I got nothing here. But Curtis also was featured in a video for the Human Rights Campaign in 2016. In the aftermath of the Orlando gay nightclub shooting, the video told the stories of the people killed in the homophobic attack. As of yet, there's no release date or title available for Curtis's upcoming project about Sarah Cunningham, but it's probably the accidental activist or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
Right. I
And
will
what
be
a
first
great
in line
title
to see
that would
it.
be. Me too.
That's go
Thank
suggest
you.
that title.
Yeah, accidental activist. That would
That's
be
a great
really
title.
Perfect. And I just it
I
it
didn't
does
know-
it feels so much love and when you look at like what Joe had.
Yeah,
my
what Joe
mom
just
thinks
said. Yeah,
that gay people shouldn't be able to get married.
Terrible.
Like what is it fucking hurting anybody?
What's wrong with people? I
Well,
know.
like I say, if somebody's gay marriage affects your marriage, you need to question your marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Then the only marriage in trouble is yours.
Yours,
yeah.
yeah.
My cousin who well, God bless people, but the idea that some of my best friends are black.
Oh, yeah.
Some of my best friends are gay. I love you. I just the gay thing.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. I want you and Aaron to really do well.
Love
but I
the
don't
sinner, but hate the sin.
That makes me want to take
Go
a box cutter to people.
fuck yourself.
It doesn't matter what bathhouse you pray at. Come on.
Exactly. But that my cousin a few years ago made a comment about how marriage equality would affect his
side hustle?
Thank you, Clayton.
No, I'm trying to think. It's not like a 401k, but like retirement.
How?
I don't. I mean, this is what.
Okay.
This is where he went with it.
Yeah.
That it would
Oh.
affect his. Yeah, I love you, but I don't like gays. It was about his retirement, his wife's retirement, how it would affect.
I'm lost.
I'd like to know what the theory is behind that.
I couldn't ask him any further because it was making me want
Right,
my
right.
head want to explode.
Right.
Because he was then talking about how and health insurance was going to skyrocket for him because of AIDS and because and that's
But
where
not
I was
because
like,
of obesity and
right,
diabetes and
right.
heart disease.
But I mean, that's
Yeah.
where I just
No.
kind of went.
So here's what I do want to say
I thought I can't
on
ask
this
anymore.
subject, because I bring this up when people say, "How did your gay marriage? What did you say doesn't?" Oh yeah, I just hate
If
the
somebody
fact that you're a
else's-
cunt. Yeah,
If somebody else's gay marriage affects
You-
your
yeah,
marriage,
thank you.
your marriage is the problem.
Your marriage is the problem. But here's what I do want to say, because I have actually followed the conservative logic on this. So I don't agree with
Right,
this. So
right, right.
I want the three of you
Yeah.
to not take my head off right now. But the argument
I
that
wouldn't
I've
do it on
actually
camera
heard is
anyway. I'm not
they're
stupid.
not,
Turn off the cameras,
they're
turn off
not
the cameras.
saying they're not saying it affects anybody's personal marriage. They're saying overall it affects the institution of
Right, right, right,
marriage,
right.
which
'Cause
that's a
they've
little
done
more
s-
grounded
'cause they've
in
done
reality.
so well
but-
with it.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
right.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
the
right.
institution of marriage has
But,
just been
but I just
firm and
want
strong.
everyone to be careful. Well, it just doesn't affect my marriage. I was like, no, that's not what they're. That is not what people are saying.
You're
Oh, no,
absolutely
I
right.
want to sneak this other thing in there because it just drives me fucking crazy. Is when it's totally unrelated, but kind of the same thing. When after like the football
about a
game
shark?
and the football players like, I want to thank God,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like God doesn't decide football games.
Right.
That's not what I don't agree. But that's
Right,
not what the
right.
athletes are
That's not what
saying.
they're
If you
saying.
listen,
Right,
they're saying,
right.
I want to thank God for giving me the skill
Yeah,
or
the
talent.
ability. Right,
and so
right,
it
right,
just
right.
drives. Sometimes liberals do drive me nuts
Uh-huh.
because they're missing what people. They're
Right.
missing the point. God doesn't decide football. No one's
But there
saying that.
are people that are
Like, it drives me
praying
nuts.
for the field.
Oh
goal.
no, That's
Sure.
exactly right.
That's where they
That's
think
the problem.
God is
but
gonna
someone just saying thank you, God, I don't
Right,
care
right.
for it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't. It doesn't drive
Right,
me
right,
up a
right.
tree.
And it's their own thing. That's
But
fine.
when
That's all
people
I wanted to
waste-
get
but
off my
when people
chest.
waste their prayers
Oh, I
and their
know.
religion
Right.
on
Yes.
a field
Well,
goal, I'm like,
hashtag thoughts and prayers.
on anything.
Thoughts and prayers.
On
They-
anything.
But what my cousin was talking about, and you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
But what my cousin was talking about made it more about the financial piece. That's how.
Yeah.
That it wasn't about the institution of marriage. It was about.
Sure, how I'd like to know the rationale behind it. How
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
that
so
would involve
bizarre,
me
right?
calling him and asking.
No. But I'm just like, I can't even. I
The
can't,
wisdom of a fool won't set you free. I'm just telling you.
I don't have enough red string and
Al,
a
that's a
cork
good
board to
point.
put that together. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
with you.
so do
well,
I.
I remember
Yes.
exactly where we were standing when he was going through all this, and I was like,
Were you close to train tracks? Because I would. Oops,
no,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
that would have been a
Oh.
push. No, this we were in a bar, so it was this.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna get
God! And
another
not it's a
beer.
threat to
Yeah, I'm
national
gonna go get
security.
another beer.
Oh
well,
my
they
God!
they did that here
Oh,
too.
oh, I'm sorry. That's a real
Yeah.
thing.
yeah,
That's a
that
real
was,
thing.
That
What?
came up.
Yeah.
Where
Anon's comment about they said it was a
Yep.
that it's a threat.
Homosexuality was considered a threat to national security
Oh,
for
good
years
Lord.
because if you were in the closet and lying about why you couldn't be gay.
They're gonna
Yeah.
drop their guns and just
Yeah, but
start fucking.
that's what people.
I mean, depending
honest
on
to
what the
God.
soldier looks like, it's not a bad idea.
I don't know that that's out of the question.
Yeah,
at
you want to
Renault.
get him while he's sweaty and looking good.
I know people who've set their own houses on fire, so the firemen will show up.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And I don't
that
see a
was in
problem.
private.
Boys.
Al, I don't see a
boys,
problem with that
boys,
at all.
boys,
No one can
boys,
keep a car.
boys,
We're gone off the
boys,
rails,
boys,
Marty.
Boys.
Um,
Everybody is gonna think that you mean it.
Which
you
part?
do.
I do because I do.
have you seen
I
that
know when they,
calendar?
I know when they grocery shop. Have you
But
seen
that-
those hoses?
but-
That's the. And believe me,
Oh.
that's the better way to find it
Oh,
out because when
mercy.
you know when and what time
Oh,
they
good
where
God.
and what time they grocery shop, the fire
This is
department,
terrifying.
you'll be at Safeway
Oh.
or
Single girl
wherever.
Safeway.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a real thing.
That's a real following firemen around
yes.
grocery stores.
Your story reminded me of something that I watched, and I don't know if you've seen this yet. There is I was scrolling through Netflix last night, seeing what was new document. I like to watch documentaries more than anything because I like
Me
real
too.
shit. It's called Beauty and the Beast in Me. It's a documentary about Kevin Aquan, makeup artist from the 70s, 80s, and
Yes.
early 90s. It was very interesting. The coolest part of it was he had a little camcorder, and he videoed everybody all the time backstage. Tina Turner, Janet Jackson, all the girls for George Michael's Too
Wow.
Funky video. He did
Wow.
the makeup for everybody.
Wow.
The interesting thing was I didn't know this until the documentary. He was adopted, and he in his entire life always felt it was a continual feeling of abandonment all the time, all the time, all the time. And even when he finally met his birth mom going back, and she, again, all about Jesus and all about this, she wouldn't accept the gay of him. And he's like, I'll be damned. I've been abandoned twice by her.
Right.
God.
But the cool part about it was they
This is awful.
interviewed his adopted father.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was raised in this, Kevin was born in 1962, raised in this Lafayette, Louisiana traditional little community, blah, 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 blah. They went to church all the time.
Religious,
They went to church. He and his mother went to church all the time until the church told them that their son, because he was gay, they couldn't come. There was something they couldn't come to the church, or there was something about it. And
So
he said,
Christian.
and the father said, and we never went back to that church.
Oh, wow. Dad stepped
He goes,
in.
I only go to a church if somebody dies or somebody gets married. Otherwise, I don't need.
Yeah.
That's what he
but
said.
brilliant.
He goes,
Fuck off.
no religion is going to tell me I can't love my child.
Oh, my God.
And I just loved that about him.
And,
wanna-
and
where did you-
love the
I'm sorry,
fact
where
that
did-
that is his dad.
Of
That was his
course.
dad, his adopted
Right,
father.
but that's
and they
his
adopted
dad.
4 kids.
Wait,
Right.
I lost the thread, though. Do you found this in a documentary?
It's it's on Netflix right now. It's
Oh,
called
God.
it's Kevin Aquan,
Beauty and the Beast in Me.
Beauty and the Beast in Me.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't know if you'd seen it, but I would like for you to watch it.
Oh, I will.
and
I loved
want,
him.
And I want you to report back to me.
Yeah, I really, really did.
It was very, very interesting because you realize he touched everybody in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, and he had a beautiful,
He was
beautiful book.
A-list.
Yeah,
Right.
he had
Faces.
a beautiful book where he made people look like other celebrities.
Yes.
And he
I
was,
loved that, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that saw what I'm sure a lot of people saw it too, but there was a part of a Friends season where they kept doing Jennifer Aniston's hair that I'm like, somebody likes Barbara Streisand. Like, someone in the hair department likes Barbara Streisand because they kept doing her hair and making Jennifer Aniston look like Barbara Streisand.
I saw that.
And then
That's
Kevin
famous.
Aquan, when he had the chance, he did her makeup, and that was the portrait that he did of her.
Oh.
And he did her as Barbara Streisand from the early 60s when she used to wear her
He was
hair.
obsessed with Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, and but it was one of those, and you could just tell, and I don't know if they're related. I don't know if that person that was doing the hair and makeup on Friends just thought it suited her or really was a Barbara
it's
Streisand
perfect,
fan.
though.
But it stops. Between the Rachel haircut and the later haircuts, there's just a part of one season where every time they do her hair, I'm like, is someone just like watching old Barbara, like not even Barbara Streisand movies. This is back from her like early club dates.
I wonder if maybe Kevin was doing her makeup for a season or two.
No, he wasn't. But then when he got the chance to do her,
That's what he did.
He told her he wanted her to be Barbara Streisand, and she's like, I've heard that before.
Oh, I totally get
I don't know
it.
if you can find that picture to pull up.
And
it's
there were so many more too. Oh, the other ones he did were great.
Great.
The other,
Oh, yeah.
but
But it's
making them look like the other ones. Was
Yeah,
so
where he
good.
took was it called Faces?
Faces, I
Yeah.
think,
Oh, that
yeah.
book was gorgeous.
But when you see all the when he died, and he dies of a brain tumor, unexpectedly dies. Anyway,
he didn't really die of a brain tumor.
Well-
he died of being addicted to prescription meds.
I'm sorry, yes,
liver
but
and kidney
the brain-
toxicity.
right.
Okay.
Because he wouldn't go. He got the brain tumor out. They removed the brain tumor. It was
Oh, that never
successful,
says that in the
But the
documentary.
side effects are
They never
went
said
away.
that.
Yeah.
They never said that.
They got it was a pituitary tumor, and they did
Yeah.
remove it because everyone thought he was going to get better. But then he
Oh,
just.
but they did. It
and
was about the
wasn't
drug
actual,
addiction.
It wasn't the drugs that killed him. It's that the Tylenol is the second ingredient in so many like Percocets.
Not
The
good.
Tylenol killed him.
Killed him. But when you see, they found hundreds of those little Super 8 videotapes that he'd filmed everybody, and it is really interesting. Like Cindy Crawford, when she because she talks about how they started together. Basically, she was a
love
little
her.
baby supermodel and all this stuff, and all that they went through. And you see all this cool behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, I
like
love
Tina
it.
Turner and him just dancing on set and
Oh,
being
how
stupid.
fun. Yeah.
Like you're dancing with Tina Turner.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Cher, Cher loved him. Like she was.
Wow.
Completely.
God,
Somebody
he was
even made a comment that
superstar.
Cher was very comfortable around him for some reason. Out of all the makeup people she had,
That's who she liked.
But just anyway. But Kevin Aquan.
Okay, I'm
Beauty,
watching this.
Beauty and the
for
Beast in Me.
sure.
It's 90
Are
minutes.
we in entertainment already? Is
No,
that what
no,
happened?
no,
Oh,
no, you got
okay.
another headline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll just paraphrase mine. So there's a docu series, an expose, couple episodes long about R. Kelly and
Oh,
surviving
yeah.
R. Kelly, and I guess the Atlanta Police Department
Yeah.
watched it and was like, we're going to need to interview her because
I
that's a
saw
crime.
that
Oh,
headline
wow.
today.
So
yeah.
they
didn't.
need, and this woman has, the woman in the video has.
How many charges has he had against him though?
I don't know that.
Well,
I
no, they were
mean-
dropped. He had the child pornography
Right.
one because they said he had sex with a teenager, but they said that wasn't really him. That it was the face superimposed on the person. And if you look look.
No.
just
I'm
Google
not
right now-
implying
yeah.
that. I'm saying, but like his ex-wife and
Right,
everybody's
right.
like,
So that's what they're saying. Like, so there's enough allegations to make
Yeah.
this docuseries.
Yeah.
But the police are actually watched it and were like, oh, that's a crime. So
Yeah, we can move forward on that.
Right.
so they actually
Okay.
are. So I just sent you.
We have
two of the
probable
pictures.
cause. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I found the website. I found two. I'm like, this is one. I don't know if this is the one.
Oh yeah, right.
Her on.
Yeah.
oh wow,
That's just
I
amazing.
totally
Yeah.
get it.
oh I love that.
Oh, wow.
That's a
But
trip.
if
That's
you
even
watch,
clo-
it's
that's even
somewhere.
closer.
Beautiful.
It's somewhere after the Rachel disappears, where you can tell that she's done with the haircut and done talking
Yeah.
about it. So they had to do something like radical with her hair to get people to stop talking
Sure,
about the Rachel
sure.
haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they
That
did.
and whoever did it clearly, you know how you just know, like, oh, you just saw this movie or you just heard this song, like
Right.
something's influencing you, and you're like,
Nice.
does no one else see that?
Yeah.
And then that book came out, and I'm like, well, clearly other people are having that same thought about her.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, got a couple more. A Christmas gift meant to keep a 7-year-old Ontario boy warm for the winter apparently left him all cold. But the way he responded was very naughty. He called 911 to report the cruel parents that gave him the gift. Ontario Police Sergeant Kerry Schmidt told CTV News the unidentified boy made the call on Christmas Day because he was upset with the gift and he wanted the police to help him. Schmidt said officers determined the call was not an emergency and no one was dispatched to the house.
Not an emergency.
However, he definitely thinks the child should be put on the naughty list based on a tweet he sent shortly after the call. Schmidt told the Canadian Broadcasting Company that even a seemingly innocent call like that can affect efforts of first responders since non-urgent incidents and fake emergency calls do take up time in the 911 resource center. If the person hangs up, we have the obligation to follow up on the person and go and track them down. He told the network, we have to treat every call as if it's an emergency. Schmidt said that he doesn't believe any charges will be filed against the child and that he hopes to turn the incident into a teachable moment for other kids unhappy with gifts that they might receive.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Poor kid.
And another little call.
I wanted something else.
Another one that's call related. I thought this was interesting. A Dutch astronaut has revealed that he accidentally dialed 911 while orbiting Earth above the space station.
Oh my god, I love this.
Andre Coupeers told the Netherlands public broadcaster, I can't pronounce that in whatever that is, that he accidentally missed an important number when trying to make a long distance call from outer space.
Oh, no.
He says if you're in space, it's like you're making a call through Houston, Texas. You first dial 9 from inside the space station, and then you dial 011 to make an international call.
Right.
And he said, according to Science and Technology's website, this is accurate. So again, they are connected
crazy.
to Earth by a communications line like a satellite would be.
Sure.
Well, he forgot to dial 0.
Oh.
He actually set off an alarm at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. He says, quote, I made a mistake. The next day I received an email. It says, did you call 911 by chance? Said before joking that he was, quote, a little disappointed that they had not come to find him. He said,
It's a great thought experiment.
however, it's not the first time an astronaut had dialed the wrong number from the space station. Back in 2015, Britain's first astronaut, Tim Peake, insisted that he hadn't prank called an unsuspecting woman from outer space, but had instead dialed the wrong number, saying, I'm on the space station. Can I talk to whoever he was asking
Right.
for? And she thought he was bullshitting her.
Can you imagine?
But
That's
but it
awesome.
looks like it comes from Houston, Texas, because it goes to them via
Of course.
whatever satellite
Of course.
communication, and then out from there. So
that
be
is
careful.
one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
That's something amazing, isn't it?
Called,
911.
you missed. He called 911
Oh,
from
no, I
outer
hear.
space. Okay.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
he-
fantastic.
That's just funny stuff.
We found out. Well, I found out last. I guess other people have known. The when we do this one job, we have phones that are private and secure, so you can like give a little bit of patient information up there without violating HIPAA. You're not doing it on a personal phone. And you call the units, you text people, you tell people what's going on, and you get information of like patients coming out or getting beds placed somewhere else. But if you call a unit, I didn't realize that the phone that they gave us the nighttime phone has a 480 area code. So if you dial the 1 unit, you get it with a 480, and it turns out this poor woman
Oh no.
was like, I called like 3 times, and she's like, you have the wrong number, and I'm like,
How
God, I
how?
dialed the right number. She's like, are you trying to reach a hospital? She's like, I have a 480 phone number. I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm like, I'm going to put the 602 in there right now.
Wow, that sucks.
And
What-
just had no idea that,
yeah.
programmed. But we know the numbers so well that a lot of times you just dial it. You don't bother.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, motherfucker. They should put on this. It's a 480 fucking number.
In the late 80s, early 90s, when I lived in Tempe with my roommate Christy, the Valley Art phone number was 602-965 is Tempe 6777. But they recycle phone numbers back then, just like we do now, but not as quickly. You know, now there's not enough phone numbers, right? So you can lose your number and get it turned around pretty fast. So even though it had been 2 or 3 years, and keep in mind this is pre-internet, people had phone books and had written down.
Right.
And so for the entire time I lived there, and she warned me, she's like, so guess what? And I'm like, what? She's like, we have the Valley Art's own phone number, and we'll get the most calls on Friday and Saturday nights. And we did. And sometimes they would leave messages, and we would be like, this, it's not the Valley Art. And finally, we would start to fuck with people. Because they're like, what's showing tonight? And we're like, Cinderella. And like, we just fucked with people. Because we knew, but when we were out, because we were always out.
If you'd like to watch Cheech and Chong, press 1.
Yeah. You want some of what they're smoking?
If
Press
you're-
2.
If you're 18 or over and you want to know about porn,
right?
Yeah.
And we just cracked out because we were going out 7 nights a week on Mill Avenue, and so we would get home on Friday and Saturday nights, and there would be all these people that were calling. So I know something about being on the receiving end of a funny phone number.
Apparently, the phone number for Stacy's is very similar to Walmart somewhere, and we get calls all the time. I've never picked up a phone call looking for, can I talk to a pharmacy? I've never gotten that one, but apparently they call
You will.
Yeah.
Apparently they call the bar all the time. I don't know.
Let's always give it a minute.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, entertainment. We just stop. We need all the time.
Yeah, we
it's
do.
just everything.
We got plenty of time. Go.
Entertainment.
We're gonna do it.
There's been 2 solid weeks of Kennedy Center honors and Netflix releasing everything they've ever thought of, and
Yes.
movies and award shows.
I
and
actually even have a
guilds
couple of
and-
small things.
Yeah, we're gonna be here all night, kids. We're here for a long,
Congratulations,
cold, lonely winter.
This just in. Doug has a couple small things.
Couple small things.
Yeah. Wow.
2 things.
Oh,
We
wow.
can do 2 things.
Yeah, there's
Well, it's
there's
been
a lot
chilly.
of stuff we're not gonna get to because of everything coming up in entertainment.
Yes,
Are
I
you blue,
understand.
Doug? Are you blue?
All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stick with us, won't you?
David, what does burning smell like?
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
For some reason, the topic in the studio has just turned to Pedialyte and curing hangovers.
Yes, very important.
It's hour 3.
Preventative as well as curative.
Of course
Do it
it
first.
is. Do it. Because Pedialyte just came out with an adult version of their stuff. It's cherry flavored. I have some samples that were left over from New Year's Eve. And I'm assuming it works. Pedialyte for years has worked to help you regain your electrolytes and recover from hangovers.
Yeah, and hangovers are just dehydration. You're just suffering from dehydration.
Yeah.
So it just helps you. So I've got extras for you. You're welcome to take them with you. By the way, earlier in the show, we talked about all kinds of different things. You want you to listen to it, you can on demand. 24/7, the show repeats all the time on qtalkamerica.com. You can find the link there. Also, if you want to listen on demand, go to the website, click on old shows, and listen to stuff that we said that we regret. And now, Al Perkins.
Katie June's got a couple more regrets, so we'll. I love you, Katie. We will start with the first thing that I remember from all that: the Kennedy Center Honors, were an absolute delight again this year. The classical pianist.
Yes.
His it was Philip Glass.
Philip Glass.
Yeah. Philip Glass, wonderful. I forgot how many movie scores he has done. Just wonderful. The jazz thing wasn't particularly my favorite, but I thought that Esmeralda Spalding.
Yeah, I
what
didn't
a
know.
fantastic voice
when
she
she
has.
came out.
She's got a good feature.
Yeah.
I thought the Hamilton thing, like Kat said, was a little premature, but nicely done.
Premature, but good.
Yeah, but okay, we gotcha. Getting people back into the theater mode, as we were talking about Glenn Close, and the year that she won her Tony for Sunset Boulevard, there were only 2 musicals nominated because musical theater was in the dumpsters, and then Rosie O'Donnell brought musical theater back. Anything that opened, she had on her show. She kind of got people going back to New York and seeing theater. So we're happy to anything that keeps the art of musical theater going. Who was the first one? Now I can't remember. Reba. I thought her tribute was really well done.
I did too, and I told you, I said I don't, because I didn't know much about her. I'm like, I think I liked her more than I thought I would. Like, she
which
seems great, and did a lot
But
of
she's
stuff.
dead, right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow.
She died in 1991 in a plane crash.
I never knew she was on Broadway. I was like, geez,
Andy
she
Gets
really
Your Gun,
had.
yeah.
I'm like, Reba's legit.
Yeah.
Took over
Right?
for Bernadette Peters in the revival of
I
Andy
like
Get Your
her.
Gun, and by all accounts was quite charming in it. It's not a tough show. It is cruise ship quality. It's what
But
we were
that's
saying
good
when we
because
were
they found
plotting.
a good range for
a
her,
good
right?
niche
Well,
for
and you
her.
just do what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally. God, bitch, we saw that show with Bernadette Peters, and it was trying on the nerves.
Yeah.
But it's an old Warhouse. You're bringing an Ethel Merman show back from the dead.
It can't.
Do I know what comes
Oh,
naturally?
I couldn't even. If I would have heard her singing, I probably would have taken a gun to the audience. Because that would have killed musical
Be Al,
theater.
get your gun.
That show was.
Be
show
out
was
in a
tough.
shooting
Kelly
spree.
Clarkson is one of my favorite people.
Oh,
and just
I told Al.
nailed
I mean,
Fancy.
she's a little different, but when she
oh
sings,
my God! But she's a little
perfect.
different, but she's so
No,
fucking who she is.
no, I
and
love- no,
brilliant
that's why
and
I
funny.
love
yeah.
her.
She is so.
Aaron
she's-
got me that for Christmas.
and she can
to
just
go to see
sing.
Kelly Clarkson, and
She
so
just opens her mouth, and
excited.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's all
and
over.
she's
with.
just so authentic. That's just
Yes.
her.
Yep.
totally
Like,
her,
I don't think
And
she
her
has a lip sync
voice is,
performance in her because she just sounds too good.
and no attitude.
And
Yeah.
I love that she was on the
No diva.
who just died.
Oh.
The
There's so many people.
Detroit.
Who just
Aretha.
Franklin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When she was on that special about Aretha, and just she's like,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was just sitting there, and she just like belted out this song, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah. She's
She has
just terrific.
pipes.
Just terrific. And all the country bands, and then they went to
Love her.
Cher, who it turns out, wow, we gotta just
Fucking Adam Lambert.
everything. Yeah, Adam Lambert with his beautiful rendition
Oh,
of "Believe" that was
my
absolutely
gosh.
stunning. A beautiful voice. I like anytime they throw out the headphones because they're getting some kind of ringing in their ears or something's not quite going right. Just sounded so good.
And he's
so
beautiful.
so
It's-
good.
it was beautiful.
Yeah, when he
And
sings, it really comes
It
across.
just, it's one of those things that I don't know. I never heard that song with that message before.
Yeah.
Like I know, the words are all the same. I get that, but it's like, it's sort of like when you take a song and they play it in a minor key. You're like, oh,
Right.
that changed the whole thing.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden it's sad instantly because everything in a minor
Jingle
key is
Bells
sad.
in a minor key
Yeah,
is
it's
not
like,
near.
oh my god, the deer, the deer.
We were dashing
Okay,
through
so
the snow.
again,
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
don't take my hat off or try to kill me about this one either.
This is the second time you think we're gonna
because I saw
assault you.
because I saw on Buddy what's his
Early?
He doesn't like anything.
but
Fair.
but here's what some of the critics were saying. They were like, okay, you can and they were like, and Adam Lambert's good. They're like, that version was done 3 years ago on Britain's Got Talent, and it rocked the world. So basically, some of the critics were like, that's not new. Like, he's good,
But that's the first
But they
time
were saying
that
the other one was
I was
better, but I
hearing.
haven't seen
But
it.
he did
they were
he
saying
did the
it's
same
really
thing
good.
on his year in Idol. You had to do a song from the year that you were. Song
Born?
from the year that you were born, and so he
Oh,
did
wow.
Mad World by Tears for Fears.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't do Tears for Fears version. He did the
did it.
version from
Oh,
Donnie
okay.
Darko. And while we all know the Mad World from Donnie Darko, it wasn't original. He just gave it something
Got it.
different.
Right.
So maybe not the first person to do that version.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh,
very
I loved
nice.
it.
Yeah,
no,
very
I thought,
effective.
I
Yeah.
thought it was beautiful,
And
and,
the same-
so did Shay.
Yeah, and she wiped away a tear,
Right.
which who knew she still had those ducks?
Yeah.
But it was,
love
and then
Cher.
I don't care. Cyndi Lauper just can get a lyric across.
I love her.
Celine Dion is singing about a car.
Right.
Or Celine Dion is singing about a car. Cyndi Lauper drove all night. Like, you
Yeah.
just know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if I could turn back time, it had a little bit of an angst to it.
Yeah.
Because it had Cindy there, who just has a way with lyrics.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
loved
her.
when she opened for Cher on so
They
many.
toured.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, a couple times.
That's one of the times
she
I saw
was-
her.
Me too.
Yeah.
And she was the highlight.
Yeah, she
because
was.
Cher didn't perform a bunch.
Cher did more costume changes than
Right.
singing.
I would
Right,
go-
and a lot of
Right.
times Cher does the thing
Yeah.
where they just play clips.
On
from
that
it.
bill,
yes,
I would
yes,
go to
exactly.
see. I would go to see Cyndi
Cyndi
Lauper.
Lauper.
Yeah.
Me
I mean, I
too.
love Cher. Don't get me
No,
wrong,
but she was brilliant.
And when they
And
open,
if you pay money for a front row seat to Cyndi Lauper,
Oh.
you're stupid because she's back in the 15th
Yeah,
row
Right, she
singing
runs
in that
around,
person.
right.
Yeah.
She runs
Yeah.
around like a crazy.
and I
person.
like how just open mic in the deal when she walks out and Cher's like, "You said you were in LA," and she's like, "I lied."
There were so many things like all the decorum
because they
is
wanted
gone
to be
from
a
the
surprise.
Kennedy Center honors.
Is that because they wanted to be a surprise?
Oh well, apparently I don't know if Cher invited her to
must
go
have,
with
that
her
must
or
have
what
been
it
why.
was.
They wanted her to be surprised.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it worked. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it was Cher screaming from the balcony.
Right.
That made me laugh. I'm like, wow, the Kennedy Center honors. And then they did an encore, which I have, in all my years watching, I've never seen them do any kind of an encore. And they brought out Adam
I Got
Lambert and
You,
her to
Babe.
do "I Got You, Babe,"
Which is
Right,
charming.
which was
and
adorable.
it was just, but how
That's
much of
fun.
the audience was like up on their feet and dancing and
For
like
all of it.
really
Yeah.
into the
That was great.
the
But
whole
you
thing.
see
It was
old
very
white
good.
people like, "Oh, they knew that song 20 years ago."
Right,
Okay,
right, right.
got it.
Well, okay. As an aside, what I'm
I
sorry,
Got You,
I was
Babe
just
is
saying,
from
and the-
before any of us were born.
and the
That's
key-
from
Well,
1963.
no. I mean, like, turn back time and all that was like
Oh,
from the
yeah,
90s.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, this 80-year-old guy, he
Yeah.
was 30 years ago.
That's
whatever.
still 30.
Sure.
So Term
Yeah.
Back Time is still 30 years
Right.
old too.
My
But
God.
I love that Nancy Pelosi sit next to Cher.
and John Roberts
Yeah.
was there.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
John.
Two of my favorite things about
Supreme Court guy.
Oh, John Roberts.
Kennedy Center is to see what politicians are in the audience,
Right.
and my other one was, and I, because now we've seen so many of them,
Yeah.
and it is embarrassing, and I laugh, but it's cute too, so it's okay. It's like because that's a kind of it's a different echelon of people. Is how many old white people are trying to be hip and cool when they're like in the audience.
And some of them,
clapping on
and
the
it
one and the three.
fucking it, like makes me. I'm like, just don't even bother. Like you
and
can't
then there's
do it.
some that you're like, "Wow, I didn't know you had it in
Right,
you."
right.
No. And there's some woman from is it I don't know if it's not the one from NBC in the morning. There is some she was at John Bon Jovi's at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then she's at this Natalie Morales.
Oh,
I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Some woman from NBC News is hooked up into that scene. Either she's married to somebody, but she's at every like event like
and
that.
Jake Tapper was up there too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's married to him, or I don't know what, but it's
She
just crazy.
gets her ticket.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gets her ticket punched.
So that. What the hell is that? So that was again. It's
It was
just
enjoyable. I
it's
enjoyed
one
it.
of the highlights of the year is what they're gonna do, and you never know who you're gonna end up liking at the end of it.
Right.
And Jenny is spot on. Cyndi Lauper stole
Jenny,
the show.
that is
Yeah.
spot
You're
on.
Absolutely spot on.
I'm trying to think. The last time I saw Cyndi Lauper was she was in L.A. somewhere with Meatloaf, and she was the
Oh,
opener
God.
for Meatloaf, and half the audience walked out
Yeah,
when she was
sure,
done.
I can believe it.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
we're only here for the lopper.
only her
Yeah.
for the Lopper, and
Yeah,
she
sorry.
was so good. And that was when never went near the stage.
No.
She was in the audience, standing on the seats.
Sure.
And I always said about her, if she can really hit that money changes everything notes in real life, she's
right.
the real
Yeah.
deal.
Uh-huh.
And this was like 25 years later, and
Uh-huh.
she
Which
just stood on the back
is-
of someone's chair and unhinged that jaw.
Which is hard for as we know. You told me one time. I'm like, wait, what just happened? You're like, Doug, when old singer they go down, not up.
Oh,
You're
not
like,
up, yeah.
you're like
Right.
Stevie Nicks is going down on that one, not up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah, and she just like
Yeah.
unhinged.
Yeah.
Okay, are we gonna talk about Golden Globes?
Yeah, so we'll go there next. So the Golden Globes were.
I thought they
forget how to do
sucked,
this.
but they always kind of suck.
Yeah, they do. They're the
That's
ones that
good.
I never.
You can fast forward. That's
Right.
what's the good part.
They're the ones I never used to take off for because they didn't used to be live, but then their ratings got a nice little boost.
Sure. Because of
a
what's his
few
face?
years ago, Ricky Gervais, then Tina
Yep,
Fey and Amy
yep,
Poehler,
yep.
and then they wanted
I
live
loved them.
audiences.
Yep.
The one thing they do though is they're more good they're better for TV.
Yeah.
Because they like to be they like to set the trend for like, here's a show you're not watching. We're gonna shine a spotlight on something. And one of my favorite
that's
things that they ever
exactly right.
did was the X-Files. When the whole world thought the X-Files was good, but the Emmys was snubbing their nose, they didn't just nominate Gillian Anderson for Best Actress in a Drama. They gave her the award.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
No,
if you ever
they're
get a chance
very
to
good
watch
at
the look
that.
on her face when she wins
Yeah.
a Golden Globe and then later wins an Emmy, it's crazy. And
Oh,
like they
that's
did it with
great.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. They did it with Mozart in the Jungle. There's
Did they
so
do
many
it with
shows.
Rami Malek from that? Or
They
not?
no, they did it with Christian Slater. They did give
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
They did give iRobot an award, but
Because
they
he won
never,
Emmys for that.
Yeah, but he never won for
Okay.
never won a
But I
Golden
know what
Globe.
you're saying. They will get your attention with something.
Well,
Because there's
and-
only 90 of them, and nobody knows who they are. They're this little organization that hides in a garden
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. You can write one article in an overseas newspaper, and all of a sudden you're part of this mysterious organization.
That never gets any bigger.
But
Oh no, they're up to 90. They used to only be 78.
Well, that's the joke. Is someone said I saw someone on the website one time said, you know, the Golden Globes are stupid. They're like, you can actually win a Golden Globe with 24 votes or
Yeah,
something.
and now,
I was like,
and now it's like two
what?
more. It's like now it's up to like
26.
26
Yeah.
because
But that's
I couldn't
stupid.
figure-
91.
I couldn't figure out the Patricia Arquette thing. Like because I haven't seen the Ben Stiller's
Yeah, the
whatever.
Escape at Dannemora.
No, that looks so good.
No, but I was it was Amy Adams.
Right. And if you and we
I mean,
actually
it was
we
just-
talked about this in entertainment a couple weeks ago.
Sorry, guys.
That Patricia Arquette, like that role is so career changing that she probably will start raking in awards. I just wasn't expecting it
Oh.
to start already.
Okay.
Because only one
And I
episode
haven't
had aired
seen,
when they
yeah.
nominated
Okay.
her. Like it's
don't-
on Showtime and they're going week by week.
Yeah.
So each week I'm watching a new
Oh,
episode.
Showtime. Okay, and
so
I have
we're
HBO,
only
but
like,
not Showtime.
I think we're at 6 episodes of the series.
Okay.
They just escaped.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, they have just escaped, and now the manhunt continues. It's that interesting story about the prisoners in upstate New York that got out of the high security prison, and
okay.
the search
Well,
went on
that's
for
why
like
she
a
was
month.
talking about her teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's completely. She's
Yeah.
doing the whole.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
now.
it's all
Okay.
fucked up makeup,
Yep.
and it's a great
Because
role.
she's playing the security
The
guard,
woman that helped
the
them.
woman that
So,
helped them.
right,
whatever.
and so to kind of give
okay.
you a little bit of balance, like
Now I
Glenn
get it.
Close and
Yep.
Herwin was talking about playing such an internal character,
Mm-hmm.
and that it doesn't. Those are not the ones that usually wins awards. It's usually the ones that's more stagey. With so that's the Amy Adams doing a very internal.
Yeah.
Jean, whatever his name is, Valet,
Mm-hmm.
that director that doesn't use a lot of dialogue, and how they were fighting with him. They didn't want it to be so ethereal.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this big showy, all this prosthetics and like all this stuff going on compared to Amy Adams, where it's all told in a dream and flashbacks and everything
Right.
like that. And the
And
person
all
that has
that.
the showy role was the mom, and
Yeah,
she did win.
yeah, she
You
did.
know what I mean? So that's that kind of thing that it actually got discussed. But the Golden Globes are
Okay.
completely made up.
Yeah.
You only need 26 votes.
They're stupid.
You can wine and dine
They're
them.
stupid.
They are.
dumb.
Pia Zadora
Yeah.
won one because her husband bought it for her.
Do you know my
Sharon,
favorite?
Sharon
For
Stone.
real?
actually
That's
took
my
the-
favorite thing about
Yeah,
it.
Sharon Stone took them all out to dinner.
No, she bought them watches.
She bought
She bought every single. Because if you think about it, you're Sharon Stone. Do you have money? So what are there? 90 of them or 98?
Now
of them?
there's 90. There used to
Every
be
single
78.
one of them received a watch, like a nice watch,
Of course.
not Rolex, but a nice watch. And I thought that made me like her more. I'm like, this bitch just is gonna get her
Yeah, and you know-
publicity.
And they like movie
Oh my
stars.
God.
They want movie stars. That's why like they'll nominate the stupidest movie. They nominated
Yeah.
that Angelina Jolie movie a couple years ago that was just
Oh.
awful with
It
Johnny
was
Depp
panned. I know
what you're
because
talking
they
about, yeah.
want movie stars
That was
in
awful.
the right. They want movie
Yeah.
stars in the front row,
Yeah.
Right.
and they'll nominate them before like anybody has seen them.
Okay.
because they get there first.
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about the fact that they did that Regina King.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all,
so the
I
thing
love
is,
her.
So we were all
But-
set up
She's
for
gonna
with the
win.
Golden Globes. We were all set up for that it was going to be a Star Is Born suite
Yep.
because they already they wasted an award on Lady Gaga a couple years ago for an iffy
Oh,
performance.
a horrifying
And-
performance.
I don't remember.
In
The worst
American Horror
acting I have
Story.
ever seen in my
She was in
entire
a
life.
season of American
I
Horror
remember
Story,
right
and they got to have Lady Gaga.
That's
on
when I
stage.
stopped watching that show. Is if they
I
give
do
her
remember
5
you
more
saying
minutes, I'm
that.
going to kill
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The worst,
Okay.
which is, I'm happy. I haven't seen Start, but I'm happy to hear that she does a really good job
She
because
really
she's the
does.
worst actress in the world in Ryan Murphy's hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Awful.
did not go well for her.
No,
But this,
Awful.
this does.
was.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this was a great performance in a really mediocre
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
So everyone thought like the Golden Globes were kind of like the TV side is where you expect things to happen, and the movie side, everyone thought there'll be no surprises here. Like,
Right.
A
But
Star
that's
Is
where the
Born is going to win
surprises
Gonna
everything.
win everything, right?
But unfortunately, the Golden Globes changed all of it.
Sure.
There is no one that's going to go on a straight march to the Oscar. Like, you know,
Okay.
last year they fell in line. Although they,
I remember you
their
talking
big
about
thing
how
last
those
year,
things, right?
they're the ones that killed Laurie Metcalf's Oscar because they started it right away. Laurie Metcalf was winning all the things for Lady Bird,
Right.
and then all of a sudden they picked Allison Janney, and Allison Janney gave a great speech, and all of a sudden every award after that went to
Yeah.
Allison Janney, and she won the Oscar.
Okay.
And this is also your audition. The Golden Globes have two things: they get the TV things, and they give you a chance to give your first televised speech.
Okay.
And do you get it done so people want to keep
so
seeing
how
more of your
rigged
speeches?
is this?
That's
then?
why-
How
It's
rigged is
completely
it?
rigged.
No,
Yeah.
that's why
Oh my
Glenn
God.
Close's stock just
Right, so
went
now,
up.
Right, so now we'll go with that. So,
Okay.
Because we have to talk about that.
so the big no,
And
I'm
I
not.
haven't
I'm
seen
for
that.
the first
We're
time
gonna-
in my life
we're
not
running-
going to talk about Glenn Close.
well, we're going to run out of time. That's
No,
the
we're-
problem. So
I tried to warn y'all earlier how long the show was going.
What
I
time?
can't help it.
I'm fine.
Okay, so we'll start with the things that were just all the. There was just surprises the entire night, and I didn't get to watch it till the next day.
And I didn't see the Glenn Close thing, so I'm excited about this.
It's very good.
You'll find it on YouTube.
Patricia Arquette for Escape at Dannemora. Everyone assumed that Amy Adams was going to take up one
Oh,
Golden
yeah.
Globe. She's nominated for 3. She went home empty-handed. Performance by an actor in a limited series. Darren Criss wins again, and expect him to take home the SAG Award too. Everyone is just convinced this has put him on the map, and we're just done.
Still didn't
exciting.
love that show.
Performance by an actress in a supporting role. Patricia Clarkson for Sharp Objects. Again,
That's
that's
a good one.
that's the showier of the 3
Yep.
female roles.
Who
Although
else
I
wa-
think
Who else was in with Amy Adams? It was Amy Adams, Patricia Arquette.
we'll get there.
No, but there was. I'm
I'm
trying
gonna
to think.
I'm gonna read them out loud.
Oh,
She's gonna
got it.
tell
Connie
you
Britton from
right
Dirty
now.
John, Regina King for 7 Seconds, and Laura Dern for The Tale.
Britain.
Yeah.
Connie Britton.
Connie
That's
Britton.
what
I
was
haven't
named.
watched Dirty John yet, and they nominated that one before it even,
Yeah.
like not even one episode had aired.
It should have been Amy Adams aside from that, but we are watching that because
Yeah.
we.
I have it all taped.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I am sick of the Penelope Cruz getting nominated for American Crime Story because I thought she was the weakest link in that entire
And
show.
total overacting.
Yeah, just totally
I didn't like that show that much.
Oh, I
You know what? And Derek Chris, I'm sorry, he just alluded to in his speech. He said it was a really grim story, and then he went on to say something else, and I was like, just stop there. It was just too grim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It just I'm like I can't watch another week of
Yeah.
who's he killing next.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I just didn't like that show very much.
The book
Well,
Vulgar
and I think
Favors
it was a lot more personal for you too.
Well, that
right?
too. Yeah, I, don't
mean,
know. Yeah, the whole thing just turned me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben Wishaw, who my friend Kevin.
Thank
that
you
I
for
go see-
remembering that,
Yeah.
Marty.
Of course.
Kevin, that I go to movies, has the
Yeah.
biggest crush on this guy. One for a very English scandal.
Oh
and
yeah, his hair.
Really,
Oh, right.
His
yeah.
hair was so good.
just cracks me up that this guy has been on my friend Kevin's radar for so long, and I tried to
Kevin's
watch
happy.
that show,
Yeah.
but I thought it was called a British Scandal, and I could never find it.
Okay.
So now that I know it's a very English scandal, I will find it. Rachel
great.
Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Nice.
How is she going to lose? Especially
Yeah.
since the season that they're running on is season 2 with that Catskills episode.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method. That's a show your mom is watching and loves so much.
Okay.
And then it got Best Comedy. Sandra Oh in Killing Eve, which I'm, goddamn it,
Yeah.
all my cable fucking channels, I'm going to find this motherfucker.
Everyone loves that show.
Everyone has been talking about that show, and it's the supporting actress on that show that's getting all the attention, too. Killing Eve.
Killing
you.
Eve. BBC.
BBC.
Thank you. Okay.
And BBC is terrible about on demand. So if
Okay.
you don't watch it when it's really on, it's really hard to find on demand on there.
Okay.
Actor in a television series drama, this is where they really went off the rails. to get someone attention. It was Richard Madden for The Bodyguard, or for Bodyguard. Jason Bateman is getting nominated for every award there is in every single guild. Never hasn't won one yet, but everyone loves Ozark, but no one is willing to give it actual statues.
Who else was in there?
That was Billy Porter for Pose, Matthew Rhys for The Americans, Stephen James for Homecoming, the one with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
He was the soldier.
Yep.
I thought he was terrific
Yeah, I
too.
did
But
too.
and this Richard Madden for Bodyguard, like that was the time where they really went
that's
with
it,
something
right?
new. Yeah.
Okay, so the person who plays, and it's Eric, not Eric Bana. Is it Eric Bana? Who plays Dirty John?
It is Eric Bana. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That fucker is.
Oh,
I mean,
we knew about him a long
no,
time
no,
ago.
no. But the thing is, so did I. But this
Yeah.
because we were we listened to this podcast, Dirty John, as we were driving from
okay. You're
like
from the
all over.
podcast part.
We listened to this whole
I know,
thing,
'cause
right?
I listened
so
to the
we
way
had
to
a
California.
picture.
Yeah.
We have this.
Who plays the
picture.
mom? I can't wait. I have it all taped. I have all.
Oh, Gene Smart.
Oh my God.
Killing me.
Yeah.
Killing me.
You have no
'Cause
idea.
To me, she's the villain.
And you
She's
know
who
the
I hate.
voices? Oh, totally.
That's who
totally.
I hate the most.
But I'm intrigued to see what your thoughts are because they tweak it just enough that I'm like,
because I am not waiting.
Why are you making her? I think that they've made her a more sympathetic character than they should, and I'm like, oh hell, no.
I'm not sure how many people
That
listened to that podcast and found her to be the villain that the rest of us did, but I wanted to put a knife through her neck.
But you know
And
how
all
the
that mom
daughter
is just pure fucking evil.
Tara, the youngest one. She kind of had a little voice like this, and I wanted to punch her and really kind of, punch her in the throat because her voice was just grating. Oh, they found somebody. They
Sure
they really did.
Like
they found
like
somebody
what's her
that
face from
can-
Big Bang Theory?
Right.
They're
I
out
was like,
there.
"Ha!" But I'm intrigued to see because he is because we still have.
Yeah, I'm not watching it till they're all in.
No, and it makes sense. He's just creepy to where you're like, what the fuck? Like it gave me the chill, and we know the story, and we know the ending, and we know doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
I'm surprised by how long they're making that, but I listened to that podcast in like one ride, so yeah.
Yep.
So American Crime Story wins, and I was surprised. I thought Sharp Objects would win there. The Kaminsky Method for comedy, we talked about that. Television series drama, The Americans, they went back and finally gave
so
The
glad
Americans
about
an
that.
award. Yeah.
I've said for years that's the best show on TV that no one watched.
Yeah, I do. I
So
actually
good.
remember you guys talking about
it's
that.
amazing.
I see it, but I've never watched
loved
it.
it.
Yeah.
Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys are perfection.
Yeah, so good in that. Best original song, and this one is for your Oscar too, is A Star Is Born, Shallow. It really does follow all the rules of the Academy of why you get nominated for Best Song. I think that's just a lock, and just
Yeah,
mark your
that'll-
ballots now.
that
That's
will
a
happen.
win. Screenplay Motion Picture, and a big surprise, Green Book wins
Yeah, they loved Green Book.
over Vice, which I saw. Run, Don't Walk, go see Vice. If you like The Big Short, Vice is
same
terrific.
vibe, huh?
Dark humor, and I mean belly laughs out of some of the most gruesome shit you can imagine. And Dick Cheney being funny, I can't.
right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not.
But it
it's
almost
not that
has
they're
to
making
be.
it's not that they're making
Yeah.
a comedy.
No.
It's just the absurdity of his
Right.
evilness.
Right.
Because of how dark he is.
Because of how dark he is, that it really
and then
is
he
Lord
shot
Vader.
someone in the face.
Yeah, Lord. Oh,
Oh,
Dick,
God.
what did you do?
Yeah.
Just like there's so many times.
Well, and Sam Rockwell as W.
As W.
Holy shit! Again,
Really
where you're
funny.
like, no, but I mean, just the way he looked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I know.
astounding to
Yeah.
me the makeup.
Yeah,
that
and,
was
was
good.
if you saw the awards, Christian Bale's
Yeah.
No, it's so good.
his acceptance speech where he said they wanted somebody with absolutely no charisma, totally unlikable,
Yeah.
and they said, "Hey, let's get Christian Bale."
It's such a
And
good
I-
self-awareness about
yeah,
that, right?
And then he said, "I thank you, Satan, for the inspiration."
And
Like,
did you see? I saw
Yeah,
just today
yeah.
the right on all up in arms about that because,
Oh.
of course, over something that stupid, they're all upset because he thanked Satan and was comparing that to
Santa just is white.
yeah, I mean,
Santa just
sorry,
is
but Dick-
white.
like
I
Trump
think we-
and W
I think
were
we've lost
dumb.
Clayton at this point.
one was smart and had
Yeah.
power.
Yep.
But the real thing with this,
Clayton looks bored.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
the screenplay thing, I
Clayton
really
Santa,
think
he's just white.
I
is.
heard that somewhere before. from
when
a white
when
woman.
the Oscar nominations come out, expect the favorite to be the winner in this
Yeah.
category. But it all depends. No, actually, yeah, it depends on how they do original and adapted, because Green Book is an adaptation. Best Motion Picture Director, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. We talked about that
Beautiful
with Marissa
movie.
when she was here. Absolutely gorgeous. But Spike Lee might win his first Oscar,
I
or
hope
hopefully
so.
get his first
Could
nomination
we
for Black
please
Klansman.
give him an Oscar?
Which, if you have not seen it yet, is actually much lighter than the title would suggest.
Much lighter.
It is a very, very, very well done movie with
Huge
a nice
fan.
Is that the one
tone.
with Adam Driver?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's a big star now.
And I
Yeah.
think Adam Driver is going to win the Oscar.
I do too.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to that in 1 second.
Okay.
But I think that's where that's going.
I'm glad you liked that
Oh, it's
Black Klansman that much, as
terrific.
much as I did.
Supporting actress Regina King for If Beale Street Could
She's
Talk.
going to win an Oscar.
What do you think about
But
that movie?
she is not
I
nominated
haven't
for a
seen it.
SAG. So the things I think it looks
Stop.
fantastic. It isn't
I
out
think
yet, or if
she's
it is,
so
Oh no,
well
okay,
liked.
that's what I wasn't sure.
she's good in everything. She
Yeah.
doesn't have a bad
well,
performance
she
in
was
her.
in what was the TV show that was
American Crime.
American Crime.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And she was the
Yep.
best part of it.
Oh, I agree.
Well, Felicity Huffman was good too.
Yeah.
Yes, but Regina King
And
playing
Regina King
the-
is very well
Well, it depends
respected.
in both seasons.
and
I liked
fucking funny
I
and
know.
other things.
I liked
and-
her better
She's
in
coming
one,
into her
and I
own.
liked Felicity
Yeah.
Huffman better in the second. I
Right,
liked Felicity
right.
Huffman better in the second season.
I
But
agree.
Regina King is not nominated for a SAG award. That does not bode well for her Oscar chances. Amy Adams will join the club of six times nominated and a loss. So we got to see how the
Should be the Deborah Kerr.
yeah.
Carr.
Well, she'll be the Glenn
The
Close.
Glenn Close,
She's
yeah.
one nomination away from being Glenn Close.
Okay.
So, but I think Amy Adams is going to win the Oscar after seeing Vice. She
Okay.
is not the wife. It's a fantastic role
Okay.
in a really solid movie, and you really are expecting her to just be the girl. And oh my God, does Lynn Chaney have a lot to do and say?
Really?
Turns out while her husband was having heart attacks, a lot of those evil plans were hers.
Oh.
And
So
Amy Adams
gross.
just plays the shit out of it. And it's
Okay.
good to see. It's like American Hustle good.
Okay.
So I haven't seen If Beale Street Could Talk because it hasn't played
Okay.
anywhere yet near here. Actor in a supporting role. The fuck up that the Golden Globes did a couple years ago was they gave the guy from that movie that I hate, Night. What the hell was it called? It had Amy Adams in it too.
Pay it forward.
It's that goddamn director that makes everybody look pretty, and their movies are awful. That Tom Ford movie that I hate.
A Single Man.
Nope, I hate that one too. But then he did another movie that I hate. That was just with Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams and
Oh,
Fisher.
the really dark one.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
awful.
yeah.
Awful.
Fisher.
Awful.
Yeah.
But the only good part about it was that Aaron Johnson Levitt Pruitt guy. Well, they gave him.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Look at your new friend Aaron Clayton. Say bye.
Oh, see you next
See you
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Very nice, Aaron. Cut.
So
yeah.
a couple
Thanks for
years
joining
ago,
us.
when Mahershala Ali was winning
Who I just
everything,
Yeah.
he did not win the Golden Globe
Okay.
because they gave it to the guy from that god awful Tom Ford movie. And everybody, when he won, they were like, "What the fuck just happened?" So they kind of owed him a Golden Globe for their assholiness a couple years ago.
Okay.
Not that he
Nocturnal
is a terrific,
Animals?
Nocturnal Animals.
That one.
Okay.
That's it.
If there was going to be a movie worse than A Single Man, it was Nocturnal Animals.
And just more depressing.
And I will never go
Scatter
to another.
my ashes
I will
at
not be tricked
Bergdorf's?
into another
I
Tom
don't
Ford
know.
movie just to watch people be painted up pretty and bore the crap out of me. Sam Rockwell for Vice was nominated too as W. But Adam Driver in Black Klansman. The irony will be not irony, but the shitty thing will be if in a movie about black people,
Yeah.
the white guy
The
wins
white guy
the Oscar.
wins.
Yeah,
right,
that
right,
would be
right,
shitty.
Right.
Actress in a
Just
motion
like
picture-
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
Al's favorite movie of all
Sure.
time.
And that's what the criticism against the Green Mile is.
Let the bitch walk.
Yeah, let the bitch walk.
Let the bitch walk.
The criticism about Green Book is that it's Driving Miss Daisy in reverse.
That's the first time when I
Okay.
saw the commercial. I'm like, that's going to be horrible, but it's getting rave
and it's
reviews.
it's a
Yeah.
very light tone. It's a really good movie. It's very solid.
And I'm usually not a big. I mean, I know a lot of people are, but I'm usually not a big Viggo Mortensen fan.
Oh, I like him.
No, and I know a
all
lot
about
of
it.
people do. I just am, usually I'm
Yeah.
like, he's good and whatever, but I
He did the wonderful movie
It'll
with
be
the-
okay either way.
The family that lived in the wilderness, the family living off the grid last year, the year before, he was
yes.
so good
Nell,
in that.
Chickabee,
Chickabee.
Chicken swinging in the wind. Chicken May May.
Okay, so
Clayton's
performance
not
by-
bored anymore.
Yeah. Performance by an actress in a motion
She's
picture
reenacting Nell. What the hell?
Oh my God.
Chickabee,
Motion picture,
chickabee.
musical, or comedy. The big competition here is that Olivia Colman won for The Favorite, and
so
there
good.
is a super good chance that she's going to win the Oscar.
And I
Elizabeth
don't.
Colman
And I
is
don't
the
want her
other
to.
one from Stone, right? The
No, that's Rachel Weisz.
Rachel. Okay.
And then
The
Olivia
Favorite.
Colman
Queen?
plays the queen.
She's the
Okay.
queen.
Okay.
And it's a terrific movie. It is laugh out loud funny. And there's
Is
a
it?
oh my
Okay.
God, it is. I was expecting a period piece
Me
where
too.
there was 2 funny parts that they put in the thing, and the movie
No,
is
the-
start to
it's
finish
all- Okay.
funny and intriguing, and you just love it. So Olivia Colman is the big competition now with the way
Okay.
it all played out. Christian Bale won. We talked about him for comedy, and that Vice is a musical comedy. People are in all the wrong categories, but Vice really is. It's just so goddamn dark that you can't help but laugh.
Well, so
Like Fargo, like kind of
so-
a Fargo kind
Darker,
of thing.
way.
So Al, so this is the criticism I saw the
Really?
next day. They said, "How was Bohemian Rhapsody and
You get to pick.
not in musical?"
Because you
But
get
they were both musicals. So
They're
they were
both
like,
musicals.
"Hey, Golden Globes, you fucked up."
Right, right.
Well,
right.
a couple years ago, Wolf of Wall Street was listed as a comedy because it was kind of funny, but you pick your category. So the Globes don't tell you what category you're going to be in.
Okay.
The movies tell the Globes we want to be considered as this because
Okay.
you have a choice.
Oh, so this was Orange is the New Black kind of a thing.
Right. Why is
Right.
that a comedy?
Right.
That's just where they entered themselves, and then they made the rules.
I
about,
thought they. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that's how you entered yourselves.
Yes.
I thought
so
they said
Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star Is Born
He's
both
looking
asked.
at his watch.
Yeah.
No, I got an alert.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Sorry.
Either way, I'm still going to keep talking.
Okay,
but
No, I
it's
know,
going
I
up.
know, I'm not.
Jenny, breaking news. Jenny's reporting that. Oh my God, I love this. Viggo Mortensen was married to Exene Cervenka from X back in the day. Good God, he makes
I
him
have
even
zero idea
fucking
who that
cooler.
I don't even know what that
Those seem like a
sentence
lot of
means.
work.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
It's a
You don't know who
lot.
X is from
No.
the 1980s? Oh my
No.
God.
I have zero idea what's happening up
his,
in that
his
sentence.
points just jumped.
No idea.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
Sorry.
now the part of the Oscars that might be true is so best
Nothing.
performance by an actress in a motion picture drama. Now the drama one is the one that most of the time wins the Oscar.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The comedy is just kind of a goof off. But they usually get nominated. The winner of the comedy actor and actress usually get nominated somehow, unless it's a completely pointless thing. Like everyone's like Barbara Streisand in The Star Is Born
Okay.
40 years ago. We're
Okay.
like, no one's nominating that performance.
Not gonna happen.
So I mean, the Golden Derbies, all the critics, everyone said the Golden Globes wanted Lady Gaga on stage. She was going to win Best Actress. He was going to win Best Actor, and it was going to win Best Picture Drama.
Okay.
This was just set in stone because of how all this talk we've done about how the Golden
Right,
Globes
right.
operate, what they're after, what they want out of life.
Right.
These are their needs. So this was the part of the show that was going to get really fucking boring.
No.
So the first thing they did, Best Motion Picture and Actor Drama, they nominate. Well, she's gonna get nominated. It was Glenn Close, and then she wins.
Okay.
And because no talk show, TV show predictors had anyone but Lady Gaga winning, her surprise is
Yeah,
genuine.
it's real.
Because you figure
Yeah.
once you've lost 7 million
Yeah,
Oscars,
yeah,
Golden
yeah,
Globes,
yeah,
and SAG
yeah,
Awards,
yeah.
you probably started to watch the odds and find out if you should even show up.
Yeah.
So her look of absolute shock
That's
crazy.
and lack of a speech,
Wait a minute.
or lack
so
of a
she beat
written
out Lady
thing.
Gaga?
Yeah.
In the Globes. See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see that part. I haven't finished watching.
You have to watch
Oh,
when
you
she
have to-
walks up because they embrace and they.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
only
it's
got
really nice.
to
And,
Jeff,
and because
the-
Michael Douglas won the
Cecil B.
year of
DeMille.
Fatal Attraction, Michael Douglas wasn't nominated for Fatal Attraction. He was nominated for Wall Street. So he won an
Okay.
Oscar the year that
Oh,
she
wow.
lost for Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
So the first person that comes up to her as she's walking up in her standing ovation is him to congratulate
I
her.
love it.
And then Gary Oldman gives her the award, and you can hear him in the mic say, "I saw this performance. You were wonderful."
Yeah.
And you
Wow.
hear it, and it's
Yeah.
like, and somebody had to. I was watching because I wanted to watch those little fuckers at
Yeah.
Gold Derby get taken down for saying that
Yeah.
nobody else was going to win but
Bastard.
Lady
Right,
Gaga.
right.
But I'm
And they were-
not bitter.
No.
No,
No.
I wasn't going to vote for anybody else. I did
am
not
bitter,
believe that the Golden Globes
bitter.
did not want to be part of Glenn Close getting her Oscar.
Yeah.
Like I did not for once believe whoever these 90 people are, they don't want to be the ones that started the march of Glenn Close on her 7th nomination, finally getting her Oscar. So I was kind of expecting it. Glenn was not. In her speech about
It's so good.
about motherhood
Wait till
and
you see it.
being the movie took 14 years to make because it was the wife and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it was a very internal performance and she was surprised by the
Oh,
recognition.
Yeah. Okay. I
Because-
was trying to figure out what
Then
was the
talking about
movie,
how
what
her
was the movie.
mother-
And then her mother sublimated herself to her father, and at 80 years old, she felt like she never accomplished anything, and that we as women, we're supposed to be nurturers, but we need to like fulfill our dreams, and we don't need to ask permission.
And then that's when the people
and then she
started
got a
standing
second
up.
standing
Oh,
ovation.
wow.
And
from
again,
all the
it's
women.
the importance
Yeah.
of that speech when that first award show rolls around and you give that speech.
I'm so glad you're saying this because I don't think people realize that. Everyone's going to want to hear that again on Oscar night. And I don't think they are going to care what Olivia Colman has to say. In
No,
her speech.
although Olivia
is it
Colman's
kind
speech
of-
was charming.
Yeah.
She gave a
I
very
like
Emma
it.
Thompson.
I heard they said it was salty.
Yeah. She was
That's
just funny.
cute.
She got to fly in a private jet, and she was all
And everyone
excited.
loves her.
Yeah, and so we have the BAFTAs to watch. We have the
So would that be
independent-
like a? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
The from Fargo, Frances McDormand kind of speech. Like is
Oh,
that
yeah,
a-
very much
Yeah.
so,
kind of-
very
okay.
much so.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Patricia
I would
Arquette
say
saying,
so.
"We
Right,
fought
right,
for all of
right.
you.
Yes,
Now it's time to
yes.
fight for women's
Yeah.
rights." So it really was, and like the people on Gold Derby were like, "How did we not see this coming?" And I'm like, "Cause you're dumbasses. They got."
But Regina,
Starship.
so when Regina King got up there, she was talking about like because I had
Her
never
son-
heard of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yep, about her son, but
And
also
James
saying
Baldwin.
just going right back to, but take all of that out of it. Here's what I heard super loud and clear. Thank you to the Publicist people. I need to thank because they were putting this movie out there.
Oh
and they
yeah,
were calling
This-
everybody, and they
'cause
were.
It didn't open until like right before, but this movie has been on everybody's radar because it played at Toronto and just blew everybody away.
And I'm so glad you
Okay.
brought that up because it was subtle, but she even said because people like hate publicists, and,
Yeah.
and she said this is going to sound weird, but
Right.
I want
I
to
have
thank
to.
the publicists.
Oh, but you
that-
have to
Yeah.
because that's who
It's
gets
like when
these-
people think they're lawyer and people
Right.
get all mad.
She's
She's like,
like-
but it's real.
because
Like,
the
they were
publicist was
calling.
calling the Golden Globes every
Right.
day and being like, "Have you
Pushing
seen this
that fucking
performance?"
movie.
Yeah.
Because the HFPA people don't make it to Toronto all the
No.
time.
Sure.
Some of them do.
But I thought that was interesting. It's the first time I've really heard. I mean,
Yep.
people will thank.
Well,
a
that's how
publicist or
Weinstein
this.
did it all. Because Weinstein's publicist. That's how all those movies have Oscars, because he
it.
did the publicity.
Okay.
So I mean, there you go. So then in
did a lot
best
of things.
actor drama, no one really thought Bradley Cooper. Well, they did think Bradley Cooper was going to win. Who am I kidding?
I think
But
so.
Rami Malek pulls it off in a movie.
But not a huge surprise.
No, not a huge surprise because the internationally, Bohemian Rhapsody is at like $700 million. This is a movie that
Lord.
died in
I
its
didn't
tracks
know that.
because the director got fired.
It took 900 years to make.
Yeah, because and then
Did you end up seeing it, Clayton?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely terrific and a terrific performance.
Okay.
There's some other good movies out there, but when you have the zeitgeist in a movie that's made $700 million, now A Star Is Born's made more in the U.S. by a couple bucks,
Okay.
but internationally, much better taste.
And the
'Cause
studio's
Bohemian Rhapsody
happy
is
about
so.
that.
I mean, A Star Is Born, you just want to get the fuck out of that theater.
Yeah.
But
Right.
That's good to
Oh,
know.
I mean, Aaron just cried through the whole thing, and
Oh, I'm
you
not
know,
saying I
like,
didn't cry. I
no,
just
no,
hated
no, but I
myself for
mean,
crying.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Why did you bring me here?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, sorry.
It was
You
kind
know.
of like the worst seasons of Glee. Like you like the songs,
Yeah.
but it like kept
Yeah.
changing tones and
It
like
did. It was like,
and you're like, how did we
but
end up here?
I actually enjoyed it personally because it was the way I sit and watch movies is just, was this a good waste of time?
yeah. Oh, and the
For
music
me.
was
And it was,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed Lady Gaga a lot.
I did too.
But the rest
She
of it,
needs a
I'm
better
like,
movie.
She
Right.
is super
She
talented.
needs a better movie.
Well, it was very hard.
Well,
for
I think
me
she's
to
going to get one
listen.
after that movie.
I do too.
Yeah.
It was. I just enjoyed Andrew Dice Clay being in
I
it.
love him.
and-
By the way,
and-
I just love him.
Yeah,
Did not know it was him till the
I know
end.
that's what you had said, and I was the minute I saw him come downstairs, I'm like, son of a bitch.
And I love that Woody Allen puts him in movies. I'm like, that's just so great.
Andrew
Like,
Dice Clay?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right. He's in Blue Jasmine.
Okay.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Because but it was
He's
so.
a very good actor.
I had a lot of difficulty listening to Bradley Cooper play Sam Elliott. Play marbles in your fucking mouth. Like, get that shit out of your mouth.
Wash your
What the
goddamn hair.
and wash your hair.
Wash your hair.
And I just didn't understand how they went from like this organic kind of thing to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that was my problem. Like it's again, it was the worst season of Glee.
How did you?
The worst season, but
And
he just
how
got
is nobody mentioning
But
that?
he just got a Directors Guild
Yeah,
nomination.
yeah.
He just stole someone's perfectly legitimate.
Sure.
So, and then the biggest shock of the entire night, I mean, for
Okay.
everyone, it didn't matter what you were thinking, was Best Picture drama wasn't Black Panther, Black Klansman.
Okay.
If Beale Street could talk, it was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Oh.
Took home the one prize that they usually
Right.
take very seriously,
Yeah.
and that's where they want to match the Oscars.
Okay.
They'll fuck around on the comedy, but
Yeah.
they want to get that movie right.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, Bohemian Rhapsody, which everyone assumed might take that last place on the Oscar, because it's 9 movies now,
Right.
that there was a chance at that much money, Bohemian Rhapsody
Maybe.
might
Yeah.
be a lot of people's favorite movies. But now all of a sudden, you're like, this might
Is
actually,
that
like this
actually
movie
gonna
that was
win?
directed, the second
Right.
half of that movie was
It's
directed by no one.
Seabiscuit.
They fired
Yeah.
the director,
Right.
and no one directed the last. Somebody just got brought in to rescue it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, this movie got shut down like 5
Yeah.
different
I
times.
knew that
It took
part, but
like
I mean,
two,
I didn't
literally
realize.
like 2 years to make.
Yeah, they all had to like
Wow.
scramble, and that's why all the speeches were about thanking them for saving the movie
Yeah.
because
Like
they
I
had
told
no
you,
director.
I stopped at the Cecil B. DeMille
Yeah.
award.
Oh,
So
That's
much-
where
was
I
good.
haven't.
I
Yeah,
liked it.
I haven't seen him come up there yet. I was just
I don't.
seeing,
Then we really shouldn't say anything about it because
yeah.
it's that good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that.
A true. I will say this. I didn't realize just such an artistic person. It seems a little goofy, but just go with it because
He
he's an
re-
artist.
He really is.
Yeah.
Now,
we
who are we
were
talking about?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah.
When you're watching the
It's really
clips
kind of sweet.
of everything that he's been in.
And I didn't know 7 Academy Award nominations.
Yeah,
I didn't know
because
that.
he's been sneaking them in since the 70s.
And they
Well-
show my favorite movie. They show clips from Last Picture Show, and that's all you need to see.
And I haven't.
And I'm
Oh.
trying to think of, is that the one that he's not nominated for?
No, he is.
Oh,
I
he
think
is?
He is.
Yeah.
Because
I
then
have
there's
not
like
seen that one.
Starman, there's
Starman,
the Contender.
right.
There's all these like little
Yeah.
movies that you're like, oh, that's right, he got
The
nominated for
Fisher
that.
King.
And all of a sudden he
The
didn't get nominated for
Fearless.
that one.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you're at
Fearless.
7.
I'm so glad they showed Fearless.
Oh,
'cause
Fearless
it's my favorite
too,
movie.
yeah.
I
Fearless is
agree
really
with
good.
that. I have seen that one.
Rosie Perez.
So then the
Amazing.
Directors
Yeah.
Guild for your
Rosie
for your
Perez I love.
scorecards at home. The Directors Guild, Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Alfonso Cuarón should want to drive over to Bradley Cooper's house and slap him for being nominated in the same breath for one piece of shit movie
Yeah.
compared to the gorgeousness that is
If
Roma.
you see the beautiful
Peter
Roma.
Farrelly for Green Book, which the Farrelly brothers, all those idiotic Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah.
The one brother is now up for a Directors Guild
Making
award.
quality
Me, myself,
films.
and Irene's director
Yeah.
is now like
It's now-
making a
Oh.
serious
a
racial
serious
drama
Oscar contender
about race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spike Lee for Black
I
Klansman,
hope he
Adam
wins.
McKay for Vice,
Liked
which
it.
Adam McKay is all the stupid Elf. What's that guy's name? Will Ferrell movies. Adam McKay is
Oh.
all the Will Ferrell
Okay,
movies.
okay.
That all of a sudden this is going to be his second Oscar nomination, and then Yorgos Lanthimos gets in for The Favorite,
yeah.
which is a surprise. But Bradley Cooper really should not be on this list. It should be what's his name? I think his name is Coogler. The guy that did Black Panther should
Okay.
really be there. Ryan Coogler for Black Panther.
So
That's who should be there. So that's kind of a shame. So that's your thing for. So A Star Is Born is now like 8 for 8 with Guild nominations, and that's
Right.
just stupid.
So what about Octavia?
Executive producer of Green Book.
Of Green
which I
Yeah,
did
so
not know.
if it depends on if she's executive producer or producer.
Okay.
EPs don't get nominated for Oscars, producers do.
Okay.
And then they have to go. You only get 3 nominations for producer, or you have to apply and say why the 4th or 5th person gets
But
nominated.
what did I miss that Octavia Spencer is now producing movies? Like,
Right.
is that
I
where we?
was just
how do
gonna
they
ask that
time warp
question.
through
She's got
that?
money now. It's the same with Jamie Lee Curtis.
But
Sure,
but
sure.
from where?
But I mean, well, from The Help, I would
I
assume.
don't know.
No,
Does she
but-
really have that much money?
If you're an executive producer, you don't need money. That just means that the
Oh,
company that you
okay.
have is throwing some money at it.
Oh,
If you're a
alright.
producer, then
It just
you're the
surprised me. Is all I'm
Well,
saying.
Right, but it depends on EP. That's why I
Okay.
have to look at the credits. Are you a
Was
producer or are you an EP?
But was
Because
she like?
But
EP
I
is
thought
nothing.
I thought
EP is what you throw at
oh,
everybody.
I thought it was exactly the opposite. I was always told executive producers are the money, but
Okay.
they don't make the creative
No,
decisions.
that's producers. PGA awards. When you
I
see
would
the
think
credits,
like an executive producer is just kind of like, here's a name that
yes,
we're
the EP.
patting you
That's
on
the.
the
If you ever
ass.
see State and Maine, shut her up. Give her an EP credit.
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what
Okay. I
they
haven't seen
they'll
that,
like
but sure.
start to.
I
Like
thought
about
they
the
gave
5th
money to
Yeah.
make things happen.
No, that's producer.
Well, and
I think
so,
it's
but
both.
Octavia.
Well, an executive producer.
I don't
most-
know. I don't know if
executive
I agree with
producer
that.
mostly comes from the company. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say it's made by Plan B Productions, 20th Century Fox Productions, Paramount.
Mm.
Then the people that produced the movie originally and made that movie get their producer credits. And then all those people that came in and gave them money, Plan B Productions, 20th Century Fox, Paramount, they'll get a production credit, and then the executives will get an executive credit thing. So those companies will make money off distribution, but the people listed as producer, PGA, and now they all make sure to have PGA. Like, like Adam Sandler has PGA after. Like, once you get there, you want to be nominated for an Oscar. If you get lucky, like Brad Pitt is the producer of 12 Years a Slave, but then Plan B is the company.
Okay.
So he's in there. He could be listed as an executive producer too, because he's the executive at the company that made it, but he put up the money for 12 Years a Slave.
Okay.
So he got an Oscar. Leonardo DiCaprio helped get Wolf of Wall Street made, so that's why he had to petition to be nominated as producer for Wolf of Wall Street. He wasn't one of the original 3, but he helped bring it to screen.
Okay.
I read these things like
No, I
the
love.
Bible.
No, but that's where with Octavia Spencer. That I'm with
But
you.
we have
Doug,
to find
because-
out: is she an executive producer
No,
or
but
is she a
even
producer?
take that out. I was trying to figure out if the help, because that's where I first saw her.
Oh, she's been an
I'm
actress
just
for a while.
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize, and so I saw her in that, and then she was in that TV show with the sick kids, and then the whatever. But and then in.
But then you have to read up like who Sandra Bullock would only make. Sandra Bullock would only make not Cruise 2. What was the movie called? Speed 2.
Speed 2.
If she could get the money to produce Hope Floats.
Right,
so she said, "I'll do this movie for like $1 million, but you will."
Even though it's shitty.
You will,
we're gonna,
right?
And-
no, because
and
that's
Hope
why. You,
Floats was
but
worse.
that's why you do the
Oh my
third.
God, I love
right,
Hope
and that's why
Floats.
you do the third movie in a
love
franchise or
Sandra
something.
Bullock.
Right. And you know why you love her?
Yeah.
Because she told them, "I'll take fuck you money
Right.
for this stupid ass
Sure.
fucking movie that no one's gonna see."
Yeah.
But you will make. And so now Sandra Bullock produces most of her
Oh,
movies.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Siskel and Ebert. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Gave 2 thumbs up to Speed 2.
Oh God.
And my favorite.
Oh, that was awful.
No, I know, and they loved it. And my favorite thing ever. I know you're gonna get mad about Hope
Yeah,
Floats, but it's
that's
my
okay.
favorite film review ever from a critic said, "Hope floats, so does shit,"
Yeah.
and it's a lot more interesting to watch.
Oh, I don't care about the stuff. That's what I mean by
Right?
that waste of time
Okay.
kind of stuff.
I'm gonna have to go back and look
Yeah.
at executive producer
Yeah.
credit.
He's the.
Trust. I've been reading about this for years.
I'm
So
gonna
have
say
I.
that I feel
Especially
Al
on
is good.
I know
like
when
it.
people wrote
Yeah.
checks,
Yeah.
they were like, "I'm not having any creative. I'm just gonna make sure
Sure.
this gets done." They would give him EP credits.
Okay.
I know they made jokes about it on
Right. You throw them-
Entourage.
Right. They make jokes, but
Yeah, executive producers often are just check writers.
Oh, I can believe it.
right. But the people that make the money off of it are the producers.
Sure.
Yeah,
EP is something that
they make the money, but the EPs
Spend the money.
spend the money. And so when they were saying, that's all I'm saying. Is when I heard she
Oh,
was
you
an
said
executive
it- you
producer,
said it
I'm
the
like,
other way
where the
before.
fuck does she get? No, well, that's what I meant. When they said Octavia Spencer was
Right.
an EP
Yeah.
for that movie, I'm like, where did she get any money to start
Well, then you
writing
look-
checks for movies?
Then you look through. Well, she's on.
maybe
She's
she is.
on Mom all the time. So then you look
Yeah,
through
you're
and
right,
you find
you're
out
right.
like what movie did she make for a
Yeah.
portion of the back end. Like where did
Right.
she say I'll make
It's
this
like on the
movie?
download because she's not a marquee name, but boy, she's got some
But
money.
she's getting there.
No, she certainly.
Yeah.
And this could be her first adventure.
Well, because
Well, let's see. She has
she
8
won
credits as
for
a producer.
The Hidden Figures.
Yes. Thank you.
Assisted-
I knocked the rocket
Right.
noise first.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, that does
So-
let us know where we are.
So Green Book, she's listed as executive producer, but something called a documentary short called from 2008 called The Captain. She's the producer. So
the captain with Tom.
Producers
Hanks?
make
No,
the
it's-
movies, right?
the producers are the ones that they. So there's different ways, like an independent movie.
When
Right.
two
Somebody-
people love each
you know,
other.
very much.
when a man loves a woman.
Right. Take Dallas Buyers. You got to take a movie that like Dallas Buyers Club got made for like
Right.
some minuscule amount of money.
Exactly.
But you can't get that distributed. So
Right.
then you have to sell it to all these different people. So
Right.
they're going to give you the money for distribution or to finish the film.
Yes.
Those are the companies you go to, and those are the executive producers.
That's what I was saying.
That come in
Yeah.
for those companies.
Okay.
But the people that get nominated for the Oscar are the ones that made the
No,
movie
we're in
originally.
totally agreement now.
Right.
Okay.
And
All right.
when the money
There
comes
was
back,
the signals
yeah,
got crossed.
whatever
Okay.
you sold,
Right. The
whatever-
producers made the movie.
Right. Whatever
Okay.
percentage you sold
I'm
to
in.
those executives, they'll get that percentage back. But
Got
the
it.
producers get the
I
credit.
got it. No, I got it.
Yeah.
What happens when daddy loves mommy?
One of them becomes an executive producer.
Right.
So,
Then they get divorced.
And then they get divorced, and mommy takes all of daddy's money.
and
Crazy,
then the
huh?
other thing well, we started at 7:15.
It's just
so now we
all-
just hit
Yeah,
3
no,
hours.
it's
gone totally off the
so
rails, but-
Aquaman. A delightful waste of 2 hours and 15 minutes of your time. As pretty as Coco. Like a movie so there was like 3 or 4 times I just wanted to stop and be like, I'll just make that artwork in my home. Like it was gorgeous to look at. And they don't make him like the Dark Knight. He's not like trying to secretly save the world or be all brooding and thoughtful.
Nice.
He's just a beer chugging asshole that
That
happens to be
sounds
part fish.
Good to me.
Yeah, and Aquaman. And
That was like a Brita commercial. He's trying to get clean water somewhere. I didn't know what it was.
And it has a like Black Panther. It has a nice like social message about keeping the oceans clean and the ocean dwellers that hate the earth, hate the people on the surface because they're killing our oceans. So it
Yes.
had a nice little environmental message. And he's kind of in between saying humans aren't awful, but yeah, we pollute too much. And the people underwater are like, we're going to kill those motherfuckers because they're ruining the oceans and that's where we live.
Yeah.
So it had some interesting parts to it, but beautiful special effects. I mean, it was just gorgeous to look at. And then anytime he has his shirt on, you're like, why am I here? Take
Yeah.
the shirt back off. Because that is just a nice looking man.
Oh,
But he's
God.
just
Oh,
playing.
are you kidding me?
He's just playing like a goofy longshoreman guy.
So hot.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of
That's got to
to
do something for you, Marnie.
I can't express. I saw him on Saturday Night Live, and I was
I
like,
know, horrible.
I just don't get
I love
it.
because I watched it at Al's
Yeah.
house, and I told Al because I'd already seen it because he records everything, and we were with Marissa, I think,
Yeah.
and I said, it's horrible, and he can't. It's really awful, and
Yeah.
he cannot act. And Al's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it kind of did. It
does
was
not
not
matter.
very good.
Yes, Jenny. So that's how it goes. So the
It's-
producer, there's only 2 or 3
No,
people
no,
ever
Jenny.
listed as producer.
Thank
And
you,
they
wow,
made the
wow,
movie.
Jenny, that really cleared it up
That
for
really
me.
cleared it up. We talked about that. Okay,
Thank you.
so on
There is going to be a test.
we got to go to Netflix.
That'll be all of
because
the above.
Netflix just hit it out of the park.
Okay.
The week between Christmas and New Year's when I was not in the mood to do anything.
Okay.
Bird Box. I loved it. Some people didn't like it. They're like, "Oh, I've already seen this movie." You've already seen Green Book. You've already seen Mr. Holland's Opus. You've seen A Star Is Born 4 fucking times.
I
They
think
even
it
changed the
sounds
title
great.
or the
It
character's
sounds like
names.
something Stephen King would write.
Yes, it was very good, and I was really on the wrong track as to what that movie was about for like the
Right.
first
I
20
have
minutes.
absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
except
don't
for
tell me because I
people
haven't seen
are
it.
My mom
doing
watched
that
it,
on YouTube.
and she's like, "Yeah, it's weird."
Yeah. But I just thought it really, and yes, it has some things in common with A Quiet Place, where in A Quiet Place they had to be quiet, and here they can't look. So there's a little bit of a sensory gimmick. But like I thought the flashbacks to like how things end, I like anything kind of like how it all falls apart. And I had a different take on what was the common denominator than other people did. But it plays on sadness, and it talks about when you're affected, you just think of the saddest. All your saddest memories come back to you, and
Sounds like
that's how you
It.
get infected. It was very
The scariest thing you've ever
Scariest thing,
thought
so-
of, right?
But it was very good, and I thought Sandra Bullock and her relationship with the kids and with the hot man from Moonlight was. Because he came on screen and I'm like, oh, why am I instantly like teary-eyed seeing this man? He's black from Moonlight with the saddest monologue in any movie ever.
Is that his name or his race? And why did you just get racial like that?
Because that was his character. You don't know the character's name in Moonlight. So in the third part, he's called Black.
Just letting you know.
Okay, I wasn't. Well,
just
well,
just
no,
letting
I
you
said
know
it at
how
work.
it sounded.
I said that at work, and somebody was like, "What?" And I'm like, "He was called Little when he was little. He was called
Yeah.
Black when he was older." And
No,
they
I
didn't
know,
give
but
him
I'm
a
just
name.
saying
Yeah.
that just sounds.
No, but it's a serious question. And then when you have the time, or the flu, or a disease, or any time you have the time to kill, I don't know how they did it in Black Mirror again. Not their best movie. You know, it's not as good as some of the other episodes that are in their like long list of episodes. But Bandersnatch is probably the most interesting thing that has ever happened in my living room on a TV. Ever. I do
Something
not
called
understand. I do not understand the technology. I
It's
do
the
not
interactive
understand.
film.
It's an interactive film. It's a choose your own adventure.
They interact with your snap.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
interact
like-
with your snatch.
Well, this sounds uncomfortable. You'll feel a slight pressure.
And when the person on the TV starts yelling at you, then you know you've like fallen through some kind of a looking glass. But it really is fascinating.
You have
and
no
it's,
idea how awkward this is right now.
yeah,
Thank
it's, so
you,
there's
brother.
it's a kid in the 80s who develops a video game in primitive gaming days based on a choose your own adventure book.
Okay.
And so he goes to a gaming company to sell it to them.
Okay.
And like when he wakes up in the morning, you get to choose. His father goes, "What kind of cereal do you want?" And that's your first choice, is you pick which of the 2 cereals he eats. And I didn't know I was supposed to do it. I was just looking at the screen, and I'm like, what is that at the bottom of my screen? And then the next thing is he goes to get into he gets on the bus to go to the place, the gaming place, and he like looks at 2 cassettes, and it says, should he listen to the Thompson Twins or should he listen to Now This Is What I Call Music Too? And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to choose. Okay. So then I hit Thompson Twins, and Hold Me Now starts playing, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. Well, then it just goes on, and all of a sudden, like, and it gets you in easy.
Yeah.
And if you, depending on which cereal box is what ad he sees later.
It's good to get in easy in the snatch.
Yeah. That's right.
But as it goes along, you have
That's
to
where
make
movies
really
are these days,
complicated
Clayton.
choices for him. And like at one point, if you choose wrong, the movie just ends, and it says, do you want to go back and have him tell the therapist something else, or do you want to just watch the credits and say that was the end of your movie adventure? And so I was like, well, I want to go back, and now, okay, I'll choose that thing. And then you go back, and like there's one version where one of the characters dies.
Right.
If you choose the one adventure. So then things that character has to do, other people do it in his, so all the rest of the movie is without him, but the stuff that his character has to do still gets done. And then if you choose the version where he lives, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, oh, fuck, I didn't realize that they said, oh, Corey wanted you to have this. And instead, Corey's like, you need to have, and I'm like, oh my God, that's fucked up that he comes and goes, and it affects that much further down the story. And I'm like, oh, I don't remember if I killed him off in this episode. Or like, and then you're watching the version, you can't remember who you killed, and it's like, and then he's in a fight, he's like, do you want to karate chop him, or do you want to kick him in the nuts? Like, that doesn't make any difference, but it makes the fight different. Okay. So then I wanted to watch it again to find out, okay, how does the fight end with the karate chop?
Can you watch every version?
I saw all 5 endings, but there were
I have a flow chart in front of me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. There's a flow chart.
And I want somebody to, because there's one point where he has to call for help, and they call back to like the therapist's phone number.
It's a flow chart of all possible Bandersnatch endings.
Yes, including the 3 that end abruptly because you chose wrong.
No.
So there's one where he realizes he's in a movie, and then like there's one where like, well, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Because it really happened. It's insanity, and I got caught in this like 3.5-hour loop.
I think that I have made horrible choices for myself in life. I should not
but
be
at one
choosing
point,
for anyone else.
it says like he's on the computer, and the choices are: do you want to explain Netflix to him, or do you want to explain the conspiracy theory? So I chose explain Netflix.
Yeah.
And so here's this person in the 80s sitting in front of like a Pong game, and you're trying to explain Netflix to him, and he's like, what the fuck? And then he goes to a therapist and is trying to tell his therapist what Netflix is, and she's like, I don't even know. You're crazy. That's just insane.
Okay, that's appealing.
Oh my God. And it gets so meta. And then at one point, it says, do you want to pour your drink on the computer, or do you want to bash it with a baseball bat? And he's like, why do I have this urge to break my computer? What are you doing to me? And I'm like, oh my God, he's yelling at me.
Al's hiding behind his curtain.
Oh no, because you do, because he's yelling at you. And he's telling his therapist, he's like, I feel like I can't even control what kind of cereal I eat in the morning. It's so frustrating. And I'm like, oh, I did pick a cereal for him. Oh my God. But there's one point where
voices
you have
are coming from in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
My TV is talking back to me.
Holy
but again, it's that fucked
How
up
much
thing.
weed did you have?
So I know,
No.
right?
This was early in the morning.
It's just one
This
movie,
says-
but Al was high.
It was a 5-minute trailer.
It's just that's all it is. And now
I watched it early in the morning, and at
Doesn't mean
11:30
you
in the
weren't
morning, I'm like,
high.
I have got to get out of this house because this is fucking with my brain. But at
So
one point, you have to call for help, and you have to remember the phone number. And I did know the number, but I couldn't get my remote to work. Like I wanted to be on a computer where I could just dial a number. I was using my remote trying to
Made it
like
harder.
scan back and because I'm on my TV. Where if I was watching on a computer screen, like most people watch Netflix on their computer, you would just pull up your thing and type in the number.
Right.
Oh my God, it was so I don't know what happens if you get, the only thing I don't know, you get to the same ending, whether or not you dial the number right, but there's a whole scene that I missed of who comes to help. I don't know who you call because I could never dial the number right.
Ghostbusters. Now, I've heard if you pick up the family photo twice, the author comes and stabs you, but I haven't seen it myself. Yes, that happened to me. I got that ending. And I actually felt the stab on my stomach for a second, which was pretty fucking surreal. He loses so much blood out of his mouth. I got that scene myself. And it happens out of nowhere, because it looks like the beginning of a scene you see a lot. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's not. I mean, honestly, if you watch the whole thing, it's not the best episode of Black Mirror. There's way better episodes but it's so. And
I can
again,
see that drawing you in.
because Black Mirror is
Right,
always.
right.
When does it take place? 10 minutes from now. It's always technology. The technology exists because you just did it. Oh my god! And every time I watch, I just love Black Mirror. That is the most. And it's not the new season. This is just something they threw out. Like, we have this ready to go. And his name is Charlie someone, the guy that writes Black Mirror. Charlie Booker. He is a fucking genius. He's like Stephen King good. That he has all these stories inside of him with all these weird twists and turns. Every episode of that show is just a mind fuck. And not one of them is...
on the regular show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But and it's because they're all TV movies. It's all... You don't need... There's not one thing tied to another.
You can watch them independently.
Oh, they have nothing. None of them have anything. You can jump in at any point.
It's not a storyline.
Okay.
No, there is no storyline. The only thing fun is that once you've watched them a few times, you'll realize like there's an advertisement for the video game that they're all obsessed with in this show.
Oh,
or
okay.
they're watching. There's a like an American Idol show that they're all obsessed with on one show, and that's playing on the TV. Like there's little Easter eggs that you can find, but there's nothing to do with anything.
And this one had 5 endings.
5 endings, but I think someone said there's like a trillion different ways to watch it. Like there's over a trillion possibilities.
See, that's just too much.
Was one of them lesbian bed death?
Probably.
Did
Again,
I know the goddamn story.
I don't know what happens if you get that phone number right.
Whatever. I'm not in the goddamn.
And that's why I knew I had to get up because I was trying to like.
One drives to the raccoon. One ends with a raccoon driving a Subaru.
That's
I'm going up
when
the
I
side
met
of the
Erin
mountain.
fucking Callahan, I was trying to explain to her NPR Raccoon Night.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Well, all you gotta do is look
I was
it up.
like, because I was funny to me, and she was like, "I'm not
on
really
on New Year's
understanding."
Eve, you had Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, right? And they were talking about the things that just did not they just needed to stop. Nobody needed to talk about these things anymore. And Anderson Cooper was like, nobody needs to talk about that fucking raccoon anymore, basically.
No,
And
yes, we do.
and
Forever.
and Andy Cohen was, the raccoon is good. The raccoon, it was, or flip it, and it was the other way. But it was hysterical how they both were kind of like.
They had a raccoon.
No
I
raccoon.
thought they had
No
thoughts
more.
on the raccoon.
Yeah.
But if you have now, if you have
I'll watch
insomnia,
it. Now I'm going to watch it. Well, I
Black
do have
Mirror.
insomnia.
Any
so I will
episode of
watch
Black
it.
Mirror you will love.
All right.
There's not a
Damn,
bad
it's
one
good.
in there.
God, that just.
I'm exhausted just hearing
Yeah.
about that.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm exhausted.
And that's the 3rd time I've heard it.
The fact that I did
I'm
not
not
call you
kidding
that
you.
morning and demand that you turn on your TV and start
I
watching
just-
that, I was
no.
like, what the fuck is this?
I see. I just don't play video games, so that would be something
Oh,
where
and
I would. No. I'm saying that would be what you're describing.
Yeah.
Would make me think of like.
But you remember those Choose Your Own Adventure books? Did you ever used to read those?
Absolutely. No. I'm with you.
This
I'm
is
just
why I
saying-
watch documentaries.
Yeah. I'm with you, Clayton.
But there's going to be a documentary about this eventually.
Oh, I'm
fuck
sure.
that.
I'm sure. And then you'll have to choose. No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Now my question though, because it's a big deal.
Clayton's like,
The
I
show's,
need
the show's
we have
never
to end
ending.
the
I
show.
need to know.
I need you to wrap
I need
this
to
up.
know
Yeah.
about an executive producer.
Okay.
Oh, my
no?
God.
No? I'm sorry.
We can't.
I could explain it better during movie credits.
By the way, while you were talking, this came in. We've got the notes from Trump's speech earlier.
Oh, no.
These are the bullet points he had to hit.
Wow, they did a lot on that.
Number 1,
Yeah.
Mexicans bad. 2, wall good. And 3, lie.
Yeah, a lot.
I understand that he rang every bell.
Next on Fox News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Good
As long as
God.
you remember.
Yep. Oh my
My
goodness.
God.
That's good stuff.
There won't be an entertainment segment that long again until the night after the Oscars. Don't worry.
Well, tune in then, ladies and gentlemen. Golly.
It's not good.
Well,
when I
thank
pay
you all for
attention.
kicking off our first show of the new year. And, well,
The extended version.
as we wrap up
It's only
tonight's
3
show,
hours and 15 minutes. That's short for us.
let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
We used to start at 7 and go to 10:30.
I gotta tell you, I'm a Yelper, and you're not gonna get a good review.